strategy happening a lot. Folks close that gap, force incredible reaction speeds back and forth really, really quickly, but we won't see it here if he stays up there, which means, no, he's coming down. He's going to play off this field. Doesn't like the angle for himself either.
It's going so fast. Who's going to make a mistake first? Who messes up at the beginning? Roby, he's down.
Again for Antorel.
Back-to-back for Antorel.
That is huge for Antorel here. Really suddenly securing his spot here so far in Blade Ball. Really important stuff. Incredible to see. Back-to-back wins showing he does have what it takes.
Truly impeccable from him. I mean, just looking so clean with the reaction times. I think having really good positioning throughout and definitely not afraid to take fights. We saw a lot of players trying to hide, almost play placements up in the trees, and it worked pretty well for Roby to get second place. We'll take a peek at the scores here, which is going to show us another 15 tallied up for Antorel, adding 30 to his running total.
Can he go for the perfect score in 5 matches?
That would be
ridiculous.
That would be
clean
insane.
sweep of Blade Ball, and unfortunately Roby going for the clean sweep of second place. But hey, that's still a lot of points here, keeping him in this game. A couple wins might be what he needs to pull ahead.
We got to see more from Jay. He lost first in the first round, went out early in this one as well. There's 3 matches left to turn it around, but definitely has to step things up for him.
Yeah, scores are tight. I will say again, anyone's game still just got to get a couple more wins here, and it's not over yet. Blade Ball is just the beginning. We've got some slap battles indoors still in the progression round, so there will be some more folks moving on. However, after Blade Ball, we will have one more progressing. So, all right, the folks are getting secure. They're getting in here. Final game. All right, and how you feeling? Who's going to take this one?
Third game. There's still 3 games left.
After this.
Third game.
I'm just gonna go with Antorel. He's shown nothing but perfect gameplay here, so I don't want to be wrong here.
All right, you've heard it here. The master of Blade and Ball. We'll see how this progresses. Look at that. 2 players already running into each other. That was a quick close.
I like that from PokeDragon. Had a couple rough runs here in Blade Ball, but starts things off with an elimination.
Yeah, impressive stuff here.
Tough positioning for Icy right at the start there.
That was.
Freeze onto the ball.
No obstacles on this one. The folks are on a flat, even playing ground. There'll be no hiding in the trees.
Death Eagle. Very interesting strategy. He's just going into the center of the map here. Clearly extremely confident in every one of these games we've seen thus far.
There's no tree to stand on, so he's got no place else to go.
Yeah, Icicle and Poke out already. The remaining players still on the board here. Doing the spread out, slow play for the beginning here. No one wants to get... All right, good catch on the freeze here. You don't have to wait for freeze. That is important. People can close in on that gap and just hit it, which I think is part of the mental bait. They want you to run forward and forget your timings on defense.
Yeah, the thing is, though, sometimes when it's frozen, you basically have to choose, do you back up and take the risk on the timing, as we see doesn't work out from Lime, or do you close the gap and do that? Because it is tough to get the timing perfect with how fast that ball gets moving.
Indeed, indeed. We see Shafe playing with the jumps there. The jumps is a dangerous one. You can throw off your ability to see when exactly that timing matters, but it can confuse your opponents as well.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It almost looks like he's reacting less off of actually seeing the ball and more off of just like feeling the timing. It's a very cerebral way to play it. Is unfortunately for the Death Eagle, he's eliminated early this round.
Look at his expression. That must have been devastating.
Yeah, that is devastating, but I will admit his fun fact on his player card was that he is a good loser. Unfortunately, we don't want to see that today. We'd like a good winner.
I don't know how fun that is.
Sad fact.
It means he's a good
That's
sport.
sad fact.
No, it means he's a good sport, and that's what matters in a competition like this.
Oh, it's going real quick here. Couple freezes from both sides. Shafe ready to receive this one. Does he have the timing perfect? It's not going for him. Another freeze, and that's an elimination.
All right, but still some important folks in that. Unfortunately, that is Jay, and this was an important round for him. But guess what? Roby is still in it. Antorel is still in it, and these folks are on pace right now for the top scores.
And honestly, I'd love to just watch Antorel here. A chance to go for the 3-peat. And thus far, he's playing a little bit back. Yeah. Letting the other competitors eliminate each other. He does a great job of choosing when to get proactive, when to actually become a part of this fight. His ability's online. It's going real quick back and forth. Antorel not finding him yet. Frozen for a moment. Roby hits it in.
Wow.
Mad Max is gone.
And that's unfortunate. Coming right to him from around that corner. He might not have been looking the right way.
Roby has been our other best player of Blade Ball, and him and Antorel are both in this. Another competitor, though, someone who was good in the last round, Shafe, here as well, with his chance to dethrone Antorel in this mode.
Yeah, I think we saw some impressive goaltending, or goalkeeping from Shafe. Oh, in that last round, but...
That's Roby gone.
That's Roby.
1v1, Antorel. He's 3-peat on the line here. up against Shafe, the goalkeeper extraordinaire. It's back and forth so quick.
Wow,
And
three in a
Antorel,
row.
Three
That's insane.
in a row.
3 in
Look
a
at that
row.
fire emoji on top of his head. That must feel real good.
That is an important win from Antorel, who takes 3 top spots in 3 rounds here. Boy, he must be feeling good. You've got a little room to breathe here, a little bit of a
Also,
buffer.
chat,
Yeah,
no
that is the face of
spoilers.
the
Don't spoil
champion
the
of the
winner for
blade.
me.
Yeah, I'll tell you
And
what,
ball.
if he gets a
I'm not
little
even
bit
looking at
better,
the
he
chat.
might just
I'm
be
not
able
even
to
gonna
match
look
up
at the
against
chat,
me.
just in case I get
We're going to see that
Yeah.
in the
I
caster
feel like he
throwdown.
might crush you, no offense. He looks kind of undefeated right now.
After this competition, I challenge Antorel to a 1v1
Okay.
in play ball.
Let's see it.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, we did have one of our teammates warming up with these folks earlier as a 10th sub-in 10th player who we consider a very good player, and he was destroyed by every one of these guys, so
Yeah.
they are good. All right, folks, looks like the scores are in. Let's check it out and see where we stand. No surprise there, Antorel
we got
sweeping
Antorel in
Blade Ball
first.
with 3 victories and 45 points on the board.
Antorel had 66 points coming into this one from 2 wins in
yeah, no,
SLS
that's not
and
good.
a solid performance in
No,
DTI.
that is
This
not
should
good.
now put him out in front of the lead. If he can maintain this through the rest of the
that's
rounds
really
of
good
Blade
for the
Ball, he is
first,
setting
but,
himself
yeah.
up for a bit of a break to not have to play through doors, to get to skip out on slap battles as well, and put himself in a great position to win $1 million.
And we'll see if he can, though. But again, our top players are still within 20 points of each other, which means a single bad round of Blade Ball could put you down on the scoreboard pretty quickly.
That it could. I mean, it's a lot of the times comes down to which way that ball is going. You can get caught off guard. One slight mistake, one slight slip up, and you lose a lot of points. And we're into our 4th round, the penultimate playthrough here of Blade Ball.
Yeah, sometimes I notice when playing Blade Ball, you get caught up into other people's battles and you don't notice that the ball is coming to you next. So you got to be always alert.
You got to watch the cross. We see in the movement they mostly want to keep space with the players next to them, no surprises. But that cross-up is a dangerous time for both players. Try to avoid, I think, in general. Again, Antorel playing it safe, and this has worked for him in this initial round. Carve out your own corner and just play it easy. Let the fools charge in.
We've seen 3 rounds thus far. I want to ask you guys, how are we feeling about the ability choice of our players? I think we've seen some value from the freeze, from a couple different ones. What would you be choosing if you were competing?
Well, I think Rapture's really shown its shines here. Just being able to change that arc and mix things up has been awesome. A little harder to notice the magnet that pulls people in with the pull, but that is an important one because when you sneak up on someone a bit there, use the pull and get a quick return, and that's what's going to throw folks off.
My go-to ability is the Infinity, which unfortunately is not in this game. But,
Yeah, this was hand chosen by the developers to ensure we had the most competitive mode here, and these were the 4 they deemed fair, balanced, and a wonderful sport to watch.
That's one of the things that is so cool about this tournament, the involvement of the developers. I know talking to them, you were saying a lot of the devs of these games were so excited to see them played here at the Hunt Final.
Yeah, we appreciate all the work the devs did, adding some custom tweaks to some of their modes, and we know even some brand new modes, as we'll get to a little later in this competition.
Yes, we will.
And that's one of the special kind of magical fun things about Roblox is working with our developers so hand in hand to make awesome competitions and awesome tournament games that can stand the test of time.
Well, our 3-peat winner here in Blade Ball is alive yet again. About half the contestants are gone, and another, that's Death Eagle, falling yet again here.
Oh, and that's rough. Unfortunately for Death Eagle, that was a real
Death
important
Eagle,
game for
bro.
win. He's still high in the standings, but needed a good first place here to really secure a top spot.
The players that are closest to Antorel in score are going to be Roby, who's doing pretty well for himself. Shafe up just a few points behind. Those are the guys you're looking at here. It's Jay taken out of this round, and we've whittled things down to a final 4. Again, Roby, Antorel, those are the guys to watch in this final.
Yeah, an important one. I'm not sure they're paying attention to these scores as much as we are back there as the competition's fierce, but if I was Antoel, I'd be going for some of the folks who I know could compete with my top spot, and that's Roby, who's still in this game.
But Anonymous Lime, a 3rd contender trying to step up. He's closing the gap. Antorel somehow always avoiding getting involved in these early fights.
Yeah, they really should be teaming up on him.
Yeah, that's right. They're kind of playing a little passive here, just splitting the board across this triangle.
It's just going back and forth around the triangle. Lime hits it in. Who slips up first? Who makes a mistake? Roby, abilities being used. It's
they're
going
locking
so
in.
quick, but every one of them up to the task, still staying in it. And finally,
Amazing freeze.
I mean,
This is going to be hard to recover.
Let's see if Antorel...
oh,
Oh, I thought it went to Antorel.
No, that was
he's
Anonymous
still in
Lime.
it. A 1v1 between 2 of our top performers. Antorel, Roby,
And this is
Oh
the
my
rundown.
my
back
God.
and forth.
Oh my
They
goodness.
go.
Oh my God.
It's fireworks.
Down and
Roby
Roby
gets the win.
Clutches up.
Yo, what
crowns
was
the
that?
king, and is the first player besides Antorel to take home a round here in Blade Ball.
Well, that was an incredible run down
Incredible.
there. An important win
that
for
was gonna
Roby.
get clipped.
That
they're
is
gonna
a
clip
key
that.
moment for him to capture
They're
those
gonna-
points and put himself up there where he
So
needs to be.
stoic, so stoic, and so
stoic.
relaxed.
Yeah, that's his
Zero
vibe.
pressure.
Yeah, he knows it, man. Just keep it cool, keep it chill.
Look at
Hey,
him.
$1 million what? Doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, seems like he's been there many times before.
You got to be stoic when you're doing it. Our scores are ready to go. The umpires have tallied things up, and still it's Antarel leading out, but Roby is close behind. The issue is, if it keeps going down to those two, another 3 points is not going to be enough for Roby to overtake there.
No, we're going to need some tactical plays here because, again, they can win, but they need to knock Antarel out early. I'd be hunting, I'd be looking, and try to use those abilities fast and get him out of this competition.
58 points across DTI and SLS for Roby and 66 for Antarel. So not only would Roby have to do better than Antarel in this round, but significantly so to be able to pull ahead there. So he basically has to win and get Antarel out early if he wants to overtake here.
Right.
And another name that's not mentioned enough here is actually a chat favorite, which is Death Eagle. Everybody wants to see him come back,
Me.
and let's see if he
Death
could pull off a
Eagle,
win in
bro.
the final game here.
Yeah, I think we've seen a couple emotional reactions from him losing out in some
Yeah.
of these early rounds, and he's definitely going to have to step up here. Only taking home 22 points across the first 4 rounds. We want to see some more from him in this final one.
But a reminder, it's never over for all of our players. We need to keep on fighting because this is a progression system with points that count across each game. So you do need to try your hardest in each and every round here. It is important to secure as high of a spot as possible in each round. But here we are, the final round of Blade Ball. And here we go,
Can't
Anonymous
believe
Lime.
it's almost over.
I know.
I'm
The
having
Blade
a great
Ball.
time.
I could watch Blade Ball, I think, all day. It is a beautiful game of art.
It is really fun to watch. The pace at which it plays, it's kind of unlike anything else that we're going to be playing in the tournament today.
Absolutely. And a nice, quiet, distraction-free map here to just show this is a game of skill. As, again, there's a boom, and I believe a first player goes down here. Exciting stuff, but Shafe will not be remaining in this round of the competition.
Yeah, the brand new classic V2, I believe, the map, a fan favorite here.
That's really tough for Shafe. He was one of those
Yeah.
players just on the edge, cumulatively 101 points for Shafe. He could have, if Antarel and Roby had been eliminated early, maybe looked to overtake, but unfortunately today's not his day, at least in this one game. There's still more for him to play, but that opportunity to qualify straight to the top 4,
Oh my
not
gosh.
really looking too possible.
Oh my
All
gosh.
right, Death
There it
Eagle
is.
takes
Oh
down
my gosh.
Icicle quickly there with a click and a sweep, and that is
Wait, chat,
down
can
to the
you guys
count.
hear me?
That play just before that, too. with
let me know if you
Jay
can hear me
freezing that
properly.
Rapture was
Sure.
amazing.
Yeah, it's one of the best direct counters, I think, when we're talking about the abilities in this game.
Absolutely. Great reaction time there.
All right, well, Antarel's still in it, and that is the play to be watching in this round. If they can take him out early, there is a chance here. It is an important moment for him. We'll see where this freeze is going. I'm not sure they saw the trajectory.
Mad Max.
Oh, going
Another
with the
good
counter
counter there.
freeze. Absolutely.
Oh,
and that is Antarel out.
Oh.
Wait, this is a chance now for
Huge
Roby
play.
to
The
come
King
back
has
here.
fallen.
It's true. Now, suddenly, this is a moment of truth here. Roby can claw this back. That was an early knockout.
It's really going to come down to how the points roll out. Did Antarel go out early enough? Can Roby actually win this? It'll be neck and neck between the two of those, but to have its absolute best chance at the points working in his favor, Roby wants to win this round.
Yeah, he's-
Chad is still talking about Death Eagle. They can't stop talking about him. He's
As
very
neither can
popular.
we. Neither can we, and he's going to shine still. I have a lot of faith in our remaining matches here. But for this one, this is a moment for Roby. If he can place top 2, I believe, he might have the points to move on. We'll find out.
We'll have to see the umpires tally it, but all he's thinking right now is that a win would be so important, and that's Death Eagle,
No.
the fan favorite,
Oh.
going down.
No,
And I think we're down to
bro.
4 contestants.
No.
Jay's still in this
Oh
one,
my
Lime's still in this one,
gosh.
but they're fighting each other, and the real man who's winning off of that is, of course, Roby, sitting in the corner, letting his opponents fight each other off, and buying time, buying placement in this round.
Yeah, good plays for Mad Max. He's been a little quieter in the earlier rounds, but he's done a good job this round eliminating some important players and actually sticking to it and staying alive.
I like that we see Roby use the fully zoomed out camera and get as much situational awareness as possible. He's not looking at it from his character's perspective. He's looking at this almost bird's eye view and staying in the race.
Yeah, it's interesting timing. That means he knows the distance to the map because you're not going to see the collision with your character here. You got to just
Yes.
watch the ball, your opponent, the timing, and know the second count each and every bounce of this.
If you've played Blade Ball, you know you're not even really looking at the ball a ton. You just kind of feel it. You feel the momentum. You get in a rhythm, and that's why the abilities are so strong because they break that natural rhythm.
Yeah,
That's why I
exactly.
play with my eyes closed.
I was going to say, we
Ah.
should have the blindfolded blade ball competition and see how far anyone gets.
You probably could play off audio. It would be hard, but
Also, shout out to Jay. He's sort of been moving his way up the ladder in each and every match.
Yeah,
And
doing a
he's
great
still in the
job
game.
here.
Yeah.
All right,
Roby,
we've
though.
got a top 3. Anonymous Lime also doing great today with Roby. And who was that? Who just
I think
goes
that was
home here?
Roby that just went down.
That
Roby is out
was
of the round.
Wow.
Roby.
And-
I'm not sure if that score is going to be enough at
I
third.
don't think so. Antarelli is going to have to be really kind of getting a sigh of relief out of there, knowing that he's getting a pretty comparable number of
Oh.
points
Jay
here.
with
Jay,
the
though,
win. Wow.
final win of that one. He needed that one. Was sitting at 77 points going into
Definitely.
this round, adding 15 more to the total from the win. We're going to have to tally everything up, of course, but I think that's likely to be a position that Antarelli is feeling good about. He took 3 out of 5, got a runner-up position in the 4th, and got about a middling placement in that final round.
Yeah, it is cumulative. So as you get the scoring, even if you don't clear this one hurdle, it is important going on to the final. But
Yeah,
again, wonderful stuff. We'll find out from the judges.
And that's why we're talking about, right, our top performer being the one who gets that insta qualification. But there's still the other players who have to go and now play slap battles after this and then doors after that. Getting into second, third place and being competitive in that way means that you're in a way better position once that top number is taken off the board to sneak in and qualify in that next round.
Right. And I feel like in a way, Slap Battles coming up next is very similar to Blade Ball, fast-paced individual competition. And here are the scores. So let's take a look.
All right. Oh, wow. Look at that. 1
Wow,
point lead
look
for
at that.
Antarel over Roby in
got
that one.
Antarel
Yeah.
in
We'll
first.
wait for that official tally,
Oh,
but
Antarel is gonna
Antarel
be
did go in
advancing to the
with
next
more points
round.
than Roby as well, so that should be enough. But we,
Dude,
of course,
that
want to wait
Eagles
for that
way
official
back,
confirmation
bro.
from our referees.
Eagles way
Antarel, though,
back.
what an impressive performance from him. 2 wins in SLS, a solid showing in DTI, and now 60 points tallied up here in Blade Ball. Looking like a fierce competitor there.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, that was epic, everyone. Let's all take a deep breath after Blade Ball and see what's going on with Geach and Sabrina and what they have to say.
All right, let's go.
Yes, thank you, Jay Party. I needed that. I'm over here losing it watching these games. They were so good. Oh my gosh. Now, Sabrina, who surprised you the most?
Well, Antarel, because I did not expect those skills, and then they started going after Antarel, so that was a good strategy on their part.
Of course, because you've got to get out the guy who's getting everybody else out.
3 wins in a row. That's scary.
Yeah, and especially with the intensity that I really enjoyed watching Antarel and Roby go at it, because I just knew that Roby was, I don't know, Roby had the strats. It's just like he just couldn't quite
The
pull it out.
reflexes.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then just the back and forth so fast, man. But
Roby had
Jay
the
pulling
strat,
it out
like, yeah.
the last round.
Yeah, that was unexpected. I didn't expect it.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be anyone's game at this point.
I don't know.
We have
man.
no idea what's going to be happening in the next few games.
Yeah, I definitely didn't expect Antarel to get knocked out in that last round, especially the way that he played the first 4 rounds, and then for Mad Max to come and just take him out. I think I had to double take when that happened, because I couldn't believe that Antarel got eliminated. I was like, wait a minute, did I say Antarel got eliminated? I didn't expect that. But then, for it to end in Antarel and Roby to only be 1 point apart.
Yeah, that's insane. Only 1 point apart. Right now, those two are the top for $1 million, right? That's crazy.
Man, I mean, if I played like that, I feel like I'd have a pretty good shot. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a blade baller. It's a little too fast for me. I don't think my eyes
Fun
can
fact,
keep
they
up.
said something about playing Blade Ball blindfolded. I actually did do that.
Oh yeah,
How did
Sabrina
that
did
go
it
for you?
blindfolded.
I got on voice chat in Roblox, and I asked a random player if they would help me.
You trusted a random?
Yes, I was blindfolded.
Girl.
I played the game. They told me when to hit, and I won. That was amazing,
Good
though.
stuff.
Thank you so much. Now back to you, Jay Party.
All right, riveting analysis from our fancy correspondence team. Y'all doing
I
great
can't believe
stuff.
she won
Appreciate it.
blindfolded. That's crazy.
I don't believe that.
I'm into the blindfolded blade ball competition. That's going to be for the next hunt. We'll see. All right. Well, another game down, which means a new contestant is advancing to the round of 4.
And it's official. We are happy to announce the next contestant making their way into the top 4. It's the 3-time Blade Ball champion, Antarel.
All right. Give it up for Antarel here. He is deserving of a good break after that performance. Wow. Such a strong showing. So he's going to join our first contestant, and just like that, 2 folks have progressed. Exciting stuff. Dudadud and Antarel get to hang out and talk about how they're going to strategize for the top 4.
Yeah, let's take a look at the scores here as well, because we're getting all tallied up. We're getting towards the last 2 games here in the qualification stage, Enyu.
Yeah, that's got to feel good. They're now one step closer to the $1 million. Looking at Roby and Shake here with each over 100 points.
Yeah, that is strong. But hey, players in the 90s still have a major chance here. As we've seen, the points start adding up in these 5-round games that we're going to see.
Yeah, I want to give some credit to Jay there. He lost first in the first game of Blade Ball, went out early in the second as well, and then rallied back in those last 2 games, or the last 3, getting deep placements to tallying nearly 30 points on the board, and bring himself now into the top 4 of our standings.
All right. Well, things are heating up here. We've got our 8 contestants left. And now would be a great time to get up, stretch, grab a snack, and take a brief pause. But don't go too far away. Don't change that channel. We're going to be resuming the stream here. But first, we're going to see some stories of some of the incredible creators that make Roblox possible. I think we've got some fun stories, some fun content for you folks at home. So maybe we'll check out some of these creator stories. And we'll be back with live competition soon for the $1 million prize that's coming.
It was funny being the art director on a high-end fashion game. And I wear Crocs on the daily.
The difference between this and all of our other projects is there's very little.
The color pass is actually just kept blank. I'm an art director for Sawhorse Productions.
Wait, is it just me, chat?
Sawhorse makes interactive brand experiences on Roblox.
Okay, it's literally the audio.
Living in Alaska.
Okay, they'll be back soon. Okay, I'm just gonna skip it. There you go.
Battles.
Over,
Hold on.
back, and
Okay, there we go.
And welcome back, everybody. Thank you for your patience, because the wait is finally over. The even more chaotic slap battles is about to begin.
Let's check it out.
Game 4, Slap Battles. There are 5 free-for-all matches. Contestants must knock everyone else off the platform. Last one standing wins. The contestant with the highest cumulative score will advance to the round of 4. Here's the scoring for each match.
All right, folks. Don't let that charming music deter you. This is a serious competition, and it's really important for our players, as there is a pretty close scoring amongst our top here, and it's still anyone's game, because in 5 rounds of slap battles, if you go out first, you ain't getting any points. And if you make it to the top, you're getting a lot. So, again, the competition is in it. We've got some exciting stories from our players, and I think they're doing good stuff here. Mimi, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking that this is going to be exciting. I think we're going to start to really shake out who our true top players are, because it's down to the wire, and we're into our first round of slap battles. There's going to be 5 total, and this one is a little bit fun, a little bit chaotic. Normally, this is a game with a ton of different gloves, but in this version, we're only playing with one to keep the competition fair.
Yes, the basic white glove, and of course, the fart ability is the only one that is in the game, and as you guys can hear, it's already being used.
Absolutely, you're going to hear that flowing here. As this game's going to have a little bit of a slower pace start, the players are going to kind of jockey for position in the middle here with this basic glove. It doesn't have a massive knockback, which is kind of an important part of this, as the terrain will start to burn down around them and force them onto a smaller and smaller island.
I gotta say, everybody must be trying their best, fighting for life to win, because losing in slap battles must be the most disrespectful way to go out. I will not take that.
Yeah, you hear a fart sound effect and you fall off the map.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to go down like that. Pressure definitely on. I think it's a lot of strategy in it, as silly as that might sound for how silly the game is. You have to calculate your risks. Do you play towards the center where there's going to be a lot more conflict? Do you stick more to the side but risk getting hit off in just 1 or 2 slaps? Positioning is a lot of the game in slap battles.
Yeah, as you get a breakaway, we'll see as players start to get knocked towards the edge, you kind of see the whole mob move towards them a little bit, trying to get an extra slap, push them off the cliff, because it takes a little bit of time, as all players are still alive here. But this board is getting smaller.
You are incentivized to, not take too many risks, because you're not getting points for eliminating other players. You're getting points for surviving and being the last man standing on that island as it slowly whittles away. Still, our competitors all up, but players starting to get a little closer to that edge.
Yeah, we see with this next drop on the layer on fire now, when that falls, we're going to see people dropping real quick here, as we might be a single slap away from the center, and that's where the action really heats up.
This is getting intense.
All right, yeah, still 8 players alive, actually, which is a high score. I'm surprised as we saw folks falling a little quicker here.
Oh, no. Death Eagle, the fan favorite.
Tough
Ooh.
for him. He had a couple slower finishes in Blade battles. Still, one of our top half contenders points-wise, and another one falls down. Shafe making a lot of noise on the way down.
Wow, and we are going to be making it to, it looks like, our final small pedestal here with a
Death
lot
Eagle,
of
you
players
gotta lock
in
in.
this.
Yeah, 6 up on a very small island. Who's going to be the first to slip? Another goes down. Second player falling as well. It's down to a final 4. Who can stay up? Who can hold on? Mad Max in the center. It looks like a 1v1 against Lime. Max falls, and that should be Lime taking the first
Lime.
round.
All right. Wow.
Congratulations.
That got a wee bit chaotic here as all 8 players made it to a really small form of the island here. But Anonymous Lime taking our kickoff match of slap battles and a whole new array of top players coming out in this next game.
And that's instantly going to shoot Lime way up the standings here. The pack was super tight in the middle of the group, and getting those full points for the victory is big for Anonymous Lime.
Yeah, it seems like his name's just popping out of nowhere now. Didn't really see him much in play ball there. And me personally, I played a lot of slap battle, and I have some overpowered gloves. Just seeing them use the basic gloves, it must be really, really difficult to knock somebody down. This is the game that induces the most rage out of me. So
Really?
it's nice to see the players are still keeping their cool.
Yeah, I mean, we already saw some emotions starting to come out in our last match of Blade Battle, and I imagine it'll only get more intense as the games get closer and players realize that chance to make $1 million is slipping away. But our scores are set to go, so let's take a peek how we're doing. No surprises, Anonymous Lime up top, earning 16 points from his win.
Yeah, Mad Max coming in second with 13, and Jay needing those 10 points. And it's good to see some folks popping up. Icicle had a rough round in Blade Ball, but takes 4th here. We'll see if that's enough to keep his hopes alive. Unfortunately, an upset here with the Death Eagle falling first and Roby going down again early on in this match here. So that's unfortunate. We'll see if that's enough to knock him down, but I think they've still got a shot here.
Yeah, looks like players are getting into the match now. So let's go ahead and hop in. Our second game getting underway now. And the island, for but a moment, is back to being calm.
Looks peaceful, right? Not for long.
And there's the countdown. Again, no early knockdowns that last round. We'll see if that sticks to be the case because it's anyone's game, but the player's still playing safe. Everyone kind of jockeying for that King of the Hill in the middle there. That's the spot to be. You could see a bit of a rundown if anyone shows weakness on the edge there. I think we see the Death Eagle playing a little more outside the pack. No one needs to get their hands dirty up front here. Take it slow.
It's funny because you actually see him kind of actioning a similar strategy to what he did in Blade Ball, staying back, playing the fringe of the map, trying to just basically avoid attention from other contestants until he runs out of time. Icy, Roby, both doing the same. Definitely feels advantageous, but there's a fight towards the edge, and Lime goes aggro, knocks Jay off the world.
Ooh, that's rough for Jay, who needed some more points here, but goes down early in this round. Again, this is only round 2 of a 5 cluster of slap battles here, but yeah, an early knockdown for Jay.
Jay was having a good run back like you were talking about. Good placement in the first round as well as back in our last game of Blade Ball as well.
Maybe that's why Lime was targeting Jay right off the rip.
Yeah, you wanted to go for that. Go for the people who are leading right now. You know, while the map burns down. Oh, wait, we did lose another one. Poke Dragon goes down. Fun facts about slap battles. You know, the devs develop and update this game all the time. There has been a 1 glove release every Friday for 4 years since this game's creation. So that's a lot of gloves.
Yeah.
And there goes Roby.
Roby again going down early, and that is rough to see. Roby has a pretty comfortable position here, but if he goes down early again, that's going to slip away. But that's Death Eagle, one of his main competitors here. Oh,
close call.
Yeah, that was a close one. Anonymous Lime holding on. Well,
but he couldn't hold on for long.
Couldn't hold on there. That was a close call. He tried.
Yeah, so our winner of the first round off, and it's 3 contestants working for it. Shafe, one of the top standers right now in terms of points, a chance to win a round here. 1v1v1. Shafe pushed back towards the edge.
Gotta get
gets
up
back
quick,
up
and
just
he's
in the
back.
nick of time, and Icy falls off the
Icy
platform.
goes down, but takes 3rd, and that's an important score for him. He needs those points.
Wow,
and Mad Max
wow.
falls.
Look at what he means to him. You can see the players heating up with their reactions as we go on. So for Mad Max, back-to-back second places as Shafe takes that win.
Yeah, a big round. You know, it's interesting to note here, Icicle and Poke Dragon were hurting a little bit, and we might see those in the scores. They're making a comeback, but why it's important is both of them are self-described Doors experts, which will be the final game in the progression round. So if they can keep it forward, they're going to be in a good spot.
It's also weighted a little more heavily because we're playing 5 rounds of slap battles and Blade Ball. We played 3 of SLS, 2 of DTI. There was a lot of chances for repetition. We're only going to be playing Doors once. So that is the real, blue shell comeback opportunity for our players to get a ton of points if they win doors.
100 points. Everything will be on the line for doors, which is coming up next. But first, we still have a couple more matches of slap battles left to go. Let's see if any player can pull ahead here.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking at the Death Eagle here. He's, like we've talked about, one of the fan favorites. He's the player who had to travel the longest to make it here. And with a really strong early start in DTI, he's struggled a little bit in these more recent games. We've seen some reactions, getting a little, energetic when he was losing these, a little disappointed to be falling off. So you're looking at him to come back here as we see our scores. Mad Max, the back-to-back second places, pushes him above Anonymous Lime.
Yeah, consistency is key as demonstrated by their 26 points. Our leader so far, but right behind him, Anonymous Lime, 24, 18 for Shafe. And again, the rest of our players down the line. Unfortunately, Death Eagle in last place right now with slap battles. We'll see if we can turn it around.
Yeah, that we will. We're getting into our third round now here of slap battles, the midpoint of this game and the penultimate game here of our qualifying round before moving on to doors.
Makes me wonder how Enterel would have done in slap battles. Doesn't look like the skills are translating directly from Blade Ball to this.
Yeah, we've seen a whole different set of folks come out on top here. And the initial high fives are happening. I like to pretend they're all just shaking hands at the start here.
Doing very important business deals as they
Absolutely.
slowly fall off the world.
Those slap sounds bring back some nightmares for me.
Is this how you do the Roblox business deals when you're off talking to developers around the world?
Just slap.
That is true. More fun facts about Roblox. After you compete in Rivals for your promotion, you will compete in slap battles to have the best ceiling of the contract. So it is a wonderful world to live in, the whimsical life of a Roblox employee.
What's up for IRL slap battles after this?
We'll see. Do we get to choose our own glove?
We'll leave that one to you. Still, all 8 of our contestants are standing in this third round. We're watching the Death Eagle, the guy we
Dude, Death
talked a lot
Eagle
about
is like
today.
so mad right now. He's
Yeah,
like
it's an important
so
run for him.
serious.
He needs to place in the top 3 here to keep his spot alive in this competition. It's unfortunately a lot of pressure for slap battles, a game of whimsical fun, but serious money on the line here. And we'll see Roby again, also someone in an interesting spot. Oh, but Poke goes down. We missed his fall there, but he is out. And all right, that gives a lot of our players still a chance here to get that score. I know Roby's going to be looking for it.
The second round now where Poke Dragon has gone down pretty early. I believe he was the first eliminated the last round too, and that's Jay falling.
Yeah, a bit of a gang up on Jay. Gets down in the corner.
Yeah, he's been eliminated pretty early in the last 2 rounds.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate spin for him here. And I'm surprised that first round we saw a long, drawn-out fight, but in this one, folks are dropping. With Poke and Jay out, only 6 remain. All right, platforms are applauding. Okay, Roby getting hit, but staying in it. Now we see back to that King of the Hill, jockeying for position, staying in the middle.
Oh, that was a far knockback there.
Yeah, a lot of these platforms starting to drop.
Yeah, that power is a quick boost. Very important to kind of recover your position or sneak up and get that push slap and get them over the edge as folks show signs of weakness. The platform's burning in a weird way this time. It's going to leave a funny shape at the end here. And we're going to see a lot of folks dropping
Can
a real
Shafe
fist
make
here.
it back? Oh, good use of the blast there to boost his way back in. But
Oh, an icicle, Shafe, Anonymous Line. They all fall one by one. And it's Roby and the Death Eagle. Oh, this is an important one here.
Oh, Death Eagle, can he make it back onto the platform? Just in time. The slap connects. Roby stuck on the platform. They're both falling. Who makes it down first?
Good
Roby competing. Who wins it? Roby's just above
Death Eagle.
Death Eagle.
Death Eagle
Wow.
touchdown.
The end. The most intense round we've had is slap battles thus far, and you see the elation on his face, disappointment the first 2 rounds, and now
That is great.
feeling good off that win.
Oh,
The fans must be real happy after this one. They've given him a nickname. They're calling him the Deagle in chat.
The Deagle. Oh, that is a good nickname.
Wow.
All right. Well, a win that he needs, that is for sure. However, the person he didn't need to get second was Roby. So that's going to keep things tight here as this race is getting into, what was that, our third round here? I think we had 2 more rounds left
2
of
more
slap
left
battles.
to go. Yeah, our umpires, it came so down to the wire. They're still tallying things up to make sure we get everything right here. But you were mentioning it earlier. Doors, a maximum of 100 points here. So even if you're one of these bottom players right now, I'm looking at Pokey Dragon, Icicle, the guys who have been struggling a little bit more. As long as they are not more than 100 points behind the first player, they still technically have a chance to rally back.
Exactly. Yeah. It's still anyone's game. So do not give up on your favorite player here in chat. Go ahead and show your love for whoever you're rooting for. But yeah, it's really interesting to see that all 3 matches had 3 different winners.
Yeah, a little more competitive than the domination we saw from Anterel in the last game there with Blade Ball.
Right. Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff. You heard it here. Important for our folks. There is still points on the line in the 2 remaining matches. Hopefully Poke Dragon and Icicle can step it up. And again, our friend Poke Dragon, the player in red from Canada, is a self-described expert of doors. So is Icicle. So that is their time to shine here. But keep it alive with the right slaps here as we are getting underway and getting our next game ready.
Maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe they're conserving their energy for the final match to pull off that miraculous comeback. I would love to see that. That would be intense.
It's a good way to do it. How to shark your opponents. You got to just let those first games flow away and then turn it up when it matters.
Get their guard down, right?
Yeah, when the money's on the line here. So, impressive stuff. Very exciting.
Yeah, back in our last game of Blade Ball, it was Jay who pulled off a last-second win, taking home the 5th game of that one. He's in another position to kind of have that rally back towards the end. Born in South Korea, moved over to California when he was young. One of at least 2 players that are local to California playing in this competition today. So for him, definitely looking to get another late win on the board and start to rally his way back up the points.
So, Enyu, as a master of the slap arts, are you seeing kind of a meta forming in this competition? Anything unique popping out here that you weren't expecting in the slap battles rounds?
I personally haven't played the slap battles where the platform falls down, so that is definitely making a huge difference in the players' play styles, I think, rather than just having the original platform. And like I said, I've always been the one to use the OP gloves because I don't have too much skill. I just like slapping people out of the map for fun. So these guys are very good compared to me.
We do have such a mix of the games that I think very naturally fit into like a serious esport. You think something like Rivals, it's an arena FPS. It's like a ton of other arena FPSs that have been popular esports before. But Slap Battles is one that is so unique that it's funny to kind of have the tonal dissidence of this incredibly silly game with these super high stakes and seeing the emotion come off the sleeves of our players while duking it out.
Right, and that's kind of the fun here, as I've nicknamed our Roblox Octathlon, a series of skills you would not expect to see in the gaming world here. Again, starting with fashion all the way to shooters and platformers. And today, we're in the reaction speed games with Blade Ball and Slap Battles here. And it's a broad array of skills, which again, these players, again, with the millions and millions who competed in the hunt initially, was a game of puzzles and skills and ingenuity and working together to solve really complex kind of mental challenges. Now you're tested on all these other elements of gaming. So these folks truly are masters of so many ways to engage in a digital world here. It's quite impressive.
We talked about it a little bit earlier in the show, but I want to go back because, Enyu, I know you played some of the qualifying rounds to make it in. Can you speak to the challenge that it is? Because 183 people visited that main page for the hunt. Only these 10 made it. It was truly a difficult run to qualify here.
Yeah, definitely. I think it really goes to show what their perseverance, as we mentioned earlier, over 70,000 hours combined from these players.
Right.
The amount of, and it's not just about the skill. You could be very good at the game, but if you don't have the dedication and perseverance to put the time in to the actual event, then you wouldn't have made it here either. So it's very impressive all around.
All right, scores are in. Let's see what we're up to from this match. And it's getting tight at the top here. Anonymous Lime now tied with Mad Max for first place with 32 points each, and Shafe at 28. All right, big comeback from the Death Eagle, who goes from the bottom of the board to 4th place here.
Very good from him. Lime, Mad Max, not just tied in the points for this game. They're both sitting at 123 across our cumulative score here. They're pretty close to Roby and Shafe, our top 2.
Is it the same person?
Could be. Just move back and forth really quickly. You'd never know.
They might be. It's Anonymous Lime. We don't know who he is. He could be the Mad Max we've been missing. All right, folks. It's underway. The folks are getting ready to go here. I think we're just getting them in position, and another island battle will be heating up. Scores are tight. We just saw there. I think it's still anyone's game, as we mentioned. I'm excited. Let's see what happens.
Here we go.
Focusing on one of our front runners here, Roby. He had a really good showing in Blade Battles, taking home 59 points there. He only has 21 to his name thus far here in Slap Battles, but still leading in overall points. We'll need to step things up, though, if he wants to keep that position and be the 3rd player in the top 4.
Yeah, we're underway. The music is a-bumping and the slaps are a-flowing. The respectable candidates all shaking each other's hands here, saying, hey, let's just hang out in the middle and relax. Although we see some players on the edge here. Let's see if anyone falls. No, Shafe looks like he's going to be sick. No!
Oh.
Anonymous Lime. Big knockout for the team. He has been leading so much here. Him going down first is going to be a crushing loss to his score.
As you can tell by his expression there, devastating.
Yeah. Yeah, that was an important one to keep his hopes alive here. He'd really use Slap Battles to come back in this competition. All right, some more folks jockeying for position at the edge here. We'll see Roby in a dangerous spot. This could be it. If he goes down here. Oh, and he does.
Called it.
Oh, that is crushing. Oh, but guess
And
what?
Death Eagle.
Falls on the other side of the map. Oh, man, the two finalists of our last round, an important game for them both, fall in the bottom three here.
It's been a new winner every time thus far for Slap Battles, and someone else up high in the standings is Shafe. He's going to be one of these final 5 players alive, but close to the edge. He has a battle against Icicle, knocked off. Shafe is gone. It's going to be all new players in this final 4.
Gosh, that is rough. Poke Dragon, maybe this is his climb to the top here. A first place here is a lot of points he so desperately needs. He's going to have to play this fierce competition at the front of his glove.
His avatar looks like somebody who's just been slapped really hard.
That is true. He's shocked by something.
Those eyes popping out.
Yeah, hopefully it's not his score at the end of this game here because he's going to need it.
Yeah, he said his rival was John from Garfield when he was asked. Interesting response from him. I don't know if that's going to be playing in his head here as he's into the final 3 up against Mad Max, the 2-time runner-up in this game mode thus far. Maybe trying to get his first win on the board against Poke and Jay. And Jay, he's gone down to Mad Max and Poke Dragon. In a 1v1, they're both falling. He's on the platform. Who jumps higher?
Oh, was that delayed?
Mad Max! He pulls things through a last-second jump, and after 2 second-place finishes, Mad Max takes home a win in Slap Battles.
Well, that was incredible. I think he actually did get a delay on the dropping platform there, and that was the millisecond he needed to get that win, and just like that, Mad Max is going to take our 4th round of Slap Battles. That's an important one.
Very lucky positioning right there.
It was. Another interesting round, coming down to a different set of top 2. And as we've mentioned before, Slap Battles, a lot of variety coming out of our top contestants in that one. Unfortunately, Roby and the Death Eagle fall early on in that one.
And those are things you're never really going to practice for, being both on a falling platform and having to like time your jump perfectly to know when you're going to actually die falling off the map. Like, you really got to feel it out, have a little bit of luck, a lot of bit of skill to make it there. And good thing for Mad Max. I mean, looking so good in the points thus far here for Slap Battles.
And I also noticed in the fourth round there, it looks like a lot of players kind of spread out to have some 1v1 battles. Let's see if they do that again in the 5th.
Scores are up, though, and taking a peek, Mad Max, 2-time runner-up, first-time champion, leading things by a solid amount of points there, up 14 over Shafe in second.
Yeah, that's a big breakout. He needs that. Mad Max now at 48. That is a huge lead as we see a clustering of all the other players.
So again, as we ready for a final round here, I have to look back at Roby. He has the lead in terms of points right now, but Mad Max has whittled it down to 1. Shafe is only 5 behind as well. So this final round very well may decide who is going to move into the top 4 and claim that second to last spot.
Yeah, and we see Roby in the center of our camera right there. This is so important to him. He came in as a massive leader in Slap Battles and unfortunately has fallen quite a bit now, and his competition is right on his heels. With multiple players within 5 points and another within, looks like 15, this is still anyone's game.
Roby wants to win this one, not leave it down to the math, get a clean lead out ahead of his opposition. That's his goal in this final round.
You'll see if the players recognize it. There is some chance here for kind of some teaming up on folks as we get a push to the edge here. Who's involved in this? Is that Jay and Roby here? They don't want to go down early.
Managed to escape that.
Yeah. At the same time, though, the players, they don't see the points that we do. They're definitely going to be locked in on the game at hand and just trying to win in every single one of these games.
Yeah, and that's all that matters. Again, these collective points. All right. No one falling early on this one yet. They're all taking it pretty seriously, playing it safe. This is our final round of Slap Battles. No, as I say it, what happened? We missed it off camera. Roby goes down.
Oh, no.
And that's a last place elimination. That opens the field wide open. So the player down in 4th place, Anonymous Slime, was trailing by 17 points, maybe just out of reach for him. But Shafe, Mad Max, those are the players we're looking at here to be able to do it.
That is crushing for Roby. Mad Max must be real excited right now. This is his time to shine. If he can stay on this platform for just a little longer, he might be in the spot to move on, which is kind of a sneak attack here. We didn't see him on the leaderboard at the top coming into Slap Battles, but showed consistency is key.
Shafe against Icicle.
Mad Max
really wants to stay alive.
Down.
And there goes Mad Max.
That is huge for our score, and I'm not sure. We're going to have to turn to the judges after this to see finals as Jay falls in 6th place.
The way I see it, this game is in Shafe's hands. He was great in SLS, winning every match there. Now needs to secure this win, get as many points as possible to
That
lock
is
in
huge.
that 3rd spot in the top 4.
Yeah, this is his redemption arc for what was a rough SLS. Triple win and not enough to progress here.
He's in the final 3. That already might be good enough. It's going to come down to the wire, though. Icicle near the edge. Shafe in a commanding position.
Bro,
them
Death
both
Eagle's
back,
still in
carrying
it.
out
Putting the
slaps
2v1.
and into a 1v1 now.
Oh.
He's falling though, and
Slips on the
Icicle,
Icicle.
out of nowhere, takes home the final round of slap battles.
Pumped. That was huge. All right, well, huge implications in our last round there. This is going to mix things up, and I'm not even sure I know. We're going to have to wait to see that scorecard after our judges add that up, and we'll reveal the excitement in this round.
It's such a big question. Did Shafe win enough points to take it over the players up top? Roby, Mad Max, they both went out early. This is going to truly come down to the wire for a 3rd spot.
It all comes
All
down
right,
to
folks,
this.
the dust is still settling. The scores are being added. It is some exciting stuff ahead here. Hopefully we'll find out soon who's moving on.
If I had $1 million, I'd put it on Shafe.
Yeah?
I think he really secured his spot being second in that last round. That was very clutch.
All right, folks. Well, let's tune in to Geach and Sabrina and see what they have to say before we get our final results. Oh, they're here with someone else.
Man, my hands hurt from just watching all of that slapping. Sabrina, if you were a glove, what kind of glove would you be?
Oh my goodness. I would probably be a glove that's similar to Rapture because I really like that ability, but it would probably spray out Bright Juice.
Bright Juice. Okay, well, we're going to check back in with the casters really quick and see what they got going on over there.
None of that.
Just because it would be like
Controversial.
what?
Oh, world! No surprises here.
Yeah, I mean, well, we were just talking about it. They're still figuring out the points for this final round, and I think we have them tallied up now to see where
Bro, that
everyone
was like-
is standing at the end of slap battles. This is just the points for slap battles, though, so not necessarily determinative of who's actually going to be making it through, because it is cumulative, but a very close competition.
Bro, that
Mad
was
Max
gonna get clipped.
and
That was gonna
Shafe
get clipped
came in with
so
a lot
bad.
of points themselves. You're looking at them as the front runners to make that 3rd spot.
All right. Yeah, an unfortunate final
That was
round
gonna
as
get
we see there.
clipped
Some of
so
the top
bad,
players
bro.
early fell. Roby getting 1 point and 2 points the round before. That is crushing coming in last in slap battles.
Yeah, and for him, I mean, definitely a tough time there. Some moments of greatness, and, well, our umpires, they're still tallying everything up. So let's go ahead and check back in with Dagichi Gamer and Sabrina in our green room.
All right, you guys. Yeah, I'm so sorry. We just had to make sure we knew who was on top before we got back into it over here. So you were saying if you had a chance to be a glove, it was going to spray Bright Juice?
Yeah, that's something I use for luck. Never mind. I can't explain it. But yeah, what do you guys think about the standings?
I'm pretty happy that I saw Icy up there. He was really doing bad on the last game, so I'm actually glad that he kind of came back from this one.
Okay. With that being said, with Icy, kind of pulling back up, are you not worried about having to go up against him?
No, not for the next games. I'm pretty confident for these next two, especially in the top 4 ones. So I think I have a pretty good shot of getting to the grand finals here.
All right. Well, time will tell who advances us next. But joining us now, we have 2 people that you may have already seen or maybe not, who have already punched their ticket to the next round. We have Daddy Dad and Anterel. Welcome, you guys, and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Hello.
Oh my goodness. Daddy Dad, you've advanced after playing Dress to Impress and Super League Soccer. How did you prepare for such a wide variety of games?
Yeah, I played Dress to Impress for like hours and hours and hours with friends because I think my sense of fashion at first was really bad. I was not confident for Dress to Impress at all, but I was really surprised when I got first on that one round. So, and then Super Soccer League, I mean, I don't know. I thought I did pretty well there, so
yeah.
Just a little bit of practice on that one.
You definitely went crazy on the
Your
third
fit
round.
was my favorite on Dress to Impress.
Thank you so much. I like the first one was really good. My second one was pretty bad, I think, but that's okay.
You thought it was bad?
I thought it was bad because I saw everyone else is doing the ice fairy way better than mine, and my colors didn't match, I think, so I thought it was bad.
Okay. Well,
okay.
we are definitely our own harshest critics, for sure.
Yeah, I beat myself a little bit because I thought I could get first, like, way better there, but it's okay. It's okay.
Well, that's how you do it. Just play with your friends and let them be your critics.
Yep.
And let them judge you and troll you, and then eventually you end up in a competition where you can compete for $1 million maybe and
Yep.
pull it out,
Shout out to Makio for that. friend that helped me out.
And so, Anterel, what was your strategy? How did you approach Blade Ball? Like, what was your strategy for that?
Just survive.
Right.
Oh my goodness. Well, clearly it worked.
All right, so we're going to take it back to Jay Party. Thanks, guys, for kicking it with us, and we look forward to seeing you in the next couple of rounds.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Good job.
Yeah, thanks so much, guys. It's good to hear from some of our contestants that have already made it in. But we have another player joining them, and I'm happy to announce our umpires have tallied the score. And the third finalist making it through after the conclusion of slap battles. It's Shafe.
All right, Shafe, congratulations. You've made it through. You get a slightly shorter break, but a break nonetheless. Rocking the orange outfit, it is Shafe. There he comes, the Slap King. Really came back. You know, I think he deserved it. After a really, really impressive Super League Soccer wins across the board, swept it, he needed a big comeback. And this was his redemption round. All right, let's check out the leaderboard and see where everyone stands coming out of that competition.
Ooh.
All right. And again, a tie now. Roby and Mad Max. But right on their heels is Anonymous Line. And of course, the Death Eagle going into a massive scoring game here. Hey, we know by this math, this is a huge point score. So guess what? Anyone could still make it, although Poke Dragon, the man from up north, has a lot of work ahead of him.
That he absolutely does. Roby, though, got to be feeling a little bit rough after placing last in slap battles. Had just a couple points more, and he would have been making it into that top 3. But he has another chance indoors and is still our leading contestant heading into that next game with a lot of really points on the line here, Jay Party.
All right, good stuff. Note to myself, don't try to shake Shafe's hand after this. He might just slap me. But that's not important, because right now we're going to hear the rules of our next game. It is the final round of the progression system, and it is an exciting one. If you weren't already on the edge of your seats, you will be, because coming up next, it's Doors.
Yes. Game 5, Doors. There is just one free-for-all match. The goal is to avoid attacks and survive. Last one standing wins. The contestant with the highest cumulative score will advance to the round of 4. Here's the scoring for each match.
All right. We are in with Doors. This is an exciting game. I know a game that a lot of the folks at home are very, very familiar with, but if you heard there, this is something a little different. This is actually a brand new mode released on April 1st. What a good timing for a new mode. That's a whole battle system indoors. This is going to be a whole survival competition between all of our remaining contestants to see who can stick it out, make it the furthest, and survive the longest.
Yeah, I was playing a fair bit of this leading up, and it is so different than normal Doors. Doors is a slow horror game about staying alive and pushing your way through, but now it's really upping the tempo when you're playing in ranked. You run a lot faster, you can slide, there are power-ups, and your main goal is to grief the other players, not work together. The monsters are a problem, but your other contestants are tough as well.
Well, folks, it looks like we might be loading this game and getting into it, and I think we have. This is the kickoff for the last chance to keep someone's hopes alive. One more player will be progressing into the top round of 4. Who will survive and who will fall? One round of Doors is all that stands in their way.
Looks like they can't wait to get out of that elevator.
Yeah, seeing them practicing their jumping. It is worth noting there is some new movement mechanics in this mode, including a slide. And you're going to see when it starts here, I think we're going to delay a little bit here and have them reconnect. But in that time, you're going to see a lot of aggressive forward momentum, a lot of movement. It is a whole different game on Doors. It looks more like a parkour game sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, having reached door 100 many times, being carried by my teammates, I am definitely an expert in Doors as well. But you can see these guys will probably make it past door 50 within less than 5 minutes because of how fast-paced this game mode is. It's going to be intense.
It goes pretty quick, and it also ends a little earlier. I don't remember exactly what door, but once they get to the end, you get into like this basic sudden death mode where any damage you get from a monster, another player, anything like that will knock you out. And I imagine with how good our contestants are, you were mentioning, a few of them have even said that this is one of their specialties. We should be expecting them to go deep here indoors.
Yeah, going to be exciting competition. And maybe we can give a little more background indoors. This mode also has an array of new items that have been added. So while you might be familiar with the monsters, there's a whole new array of objects, different bombs to throw, knock down players, slow them down, do some damage to their health bars, and of course heal that back up, as well as some fun, unique items hopefully we'll discover throughout the match. Some fun surprises.
Yeah, there's a couple different weapons you can use to basically PvP with the other competitors. There are props, things like chairs, plants, random stuff like that you can throw at them as well to deal damage and put them into a stun state. There's also still limited places to hide, so you can grief other players, steal a closet from them when Rush is coming through and knock them out of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one other important thing is all the players, they're very fast at playing the game, and all of them cluster together. It might block your vision with some entities coming your way. You might not even be able to see them with people blocking your vision. So that's going to be a key thing to look out for as well. Could be some unlucky players in this.
Yeah, there absolutely could. And remember, it's only one round of doors. This is a longer one, so we're only playing it once. But that means pressure is on for players like PokeDragon, like Icicle, who are sitting lower in the overall standings right now. This is their last chance to compete for that $1 million and make it to the top 4.
All right, folks, you've heard about Doors, but let's talk a little about the creators behind Doors. Doors is made by Lightning Splash, a really awesome and wonderful dev I've had the pleasure of working with and hosting in one of our last award shows. He helped me actually announce some of those prizes. But not only does he make this game, he also produced the entire soundtrack. It makes the
music's good.
The music, right. And that is such an absolutely important and critical part of the horror game world is that sound, that complete immersion you get from wearing your headphones. And so really an incredible work here.
It is truly an atmospheric experience for sure. Another one of those games that I think has really taken Roblox by storm. But here we go. It looks like the players are all loaded up in the elevator, and we're ready to get things going here. This is Doors competitive. One round and a last chance to make it to the top 4 and have your shot at $1 million.
All right, the first door is open and we are underway here. Gosh, is anyone breaking out in the lead early? Well, I'll tell you, it won't matter. This is a lot of game flow, and that's what you're seeing right there. This is a parkour-like experience.
Speed boosts.
Incredibly fast. You're seeing players slide past each other constantly, and while you're playing for speed like it is a race, again, you got to survive to the end. If you're out, you're out, and that's what's so important here. With up to 100 points for the victor and 0 for the loser here, you do not want to go down early.
No, you do not. 6.5 minutes, that's the maximum time that we're going to have to play this one through. You can see there's different strategies to go for. Do you want to be blazing the trail, being the first player up? There's risks associated with that. You're going to be the first to see the monsters. Or do you want to follow behind? There's risks there too. So in a very fast-paced game mode, you're going to have to make decisions quickly and make the right decisions to stay alive.
There's the first bomb you see being dropped on his opponents.
Yeah, small amounts of damage being done. We see those health bars above. Again, if you're an expert on Doors, this could be a new mode for almost everyone out there. So those health bars do matter. That's what's going to be reduced to 0. And there is ways to hurt each other with those items. There are also ways to heal. And there, you just saw it there, picking up a heal. That's important there. Keep that topped off. You don't want to get low. It's an unfortunate way to go with another player doing damage to you.
There is also these boost packs on the floor. You see now how ridiculously speedy these players are that can help you go just that bit quicker. And on top of that, the heal items on the floor, that's another thing there. The golden gun picked up and a lot of damage onto, I think that was Lime, knocked down to quite a fair little bit of XP or HP.
Oh, you see another player get hit by something there, and look at that. One health bar is very low on one of our players, and that's a dangerous position to be in. You never know when a single monster sneaks up on you and knocks you out of this competition.
I hear something coming.
I do, I hear it. Could we get...
So what monster is that we're hearing, Enyu?
I barely heard that, but it sounded like it might have been Rush. I didn't see any lights flicker, though.
Yeah. There is a lot of monsters that have to deal with. A lot of this game is kind of having the game knowledge, figuring out which monster you might be facing, what the proper reaction is. If it's something like eyes, you have to look away, but you're that little psst, and you got to look exactly at the monster. So a lot to think about.
Yeah, and Rush is a big one here because you can steal each other's hiding place.
Right there.
There it is. Yeah, we see that sneaking up on you. That's a good one to keep out for. Why the sound design is so important here. We'll see what happens. Uh-oh, it looks like we have our first player falling here. We're going to find out a little bit who that was here. I'm not sure exactly, but...
Looks like it was Anonymous Lime, I believe, that fell. He's looking into the spectator seat, and that's going to be tough. He had 132 points heading into this round, but that could be the end for Anonymous Lime.
Yeah, the first to drop is getting 0, so it's a crushing blow, as you could be in first place and still drop to last just from this competition if you don't place high enough.
Unfortunate for Lime there, but the rest of the players still in the running.
Just in time. Wow.
And that was Rush that we're seeing, right? So what's the deal? How do you avoid that monster?
Must hide in the closet, or if I noticed one player had a hiding box, might have used that to avoid death.
That's an important one. Allows you to keep your place in the lead if you bring the box with you. But again, health dropping low here. Looks like PokeDragon is running real low on health. He's going to need a health pickup, or he's in a rough spot where another player could knock you out.
Remember, coming into this Roby 100, Mad Max, they were tied 141 points apiece. So
Yeah,
just
still
one
in.
place difference for the two of those will make or break your chance at $1 million.
Yeah, but it also means all of our top 4 players, including the Death Eagle, are within 20 points of each other. Meaning, you take that first place spot, you can knock all of the other competition out of here and secure the last spot.
When you look at someone like Icicle, like Poke Dragon as well, towards the lower part of our standings, they're preying on the downfall. Not only do they have to win, but they have to prey on the downfall of our top players. So for them, Anonymous Slime losing out this early actually gives them a greater chance as we go deeper into doors.
Yeah, it's huge. It knocks the tournament wide open here and allows some of these players to have a real shot at getting at the last spot in the top 4.
You have a lot more agency than in the other game modes of how to take other people down. So if I was someone like Poke Dragon, like Icicle, I would be trying my hardest to grief Roby, grief Mad Max, try and get them out, because those are your biggest threats right now.
Don't give them any ideas.
We'll see. They all seem pretty focused. And again, it is a dark, fast-paced world here. I know it can be challenging for the players to get a sense of where the competition is at while not falling too far behind, which is a quick way for a swift exit. If you fall too far behind, the game has some mechanics to ensure you're out of there. As we hear another monster close in here, just taking a second to enjoy the sounds of what is an incredible top horror game in the world.
And you talked about this music. It's so impressive that a dev was able to just put that together as Poke Dragon gets a little jump scared, but still alive on a sliver of health.
Yeah, his dreams of this competition are still going on that last sliver. We'll see if he can find any relief or if he's going to get knocked out by even another player with that low of health.
Still 6 players alive, but as I say that, someone falls. Who did we just lose? That was Icicle. And coming into this with 107 points, only receiving 10 from his finish. That should be the end of Icicle as well. But good news for the lower players, Mad Max is gone.
Oh, this is huge with Mad Max dropping again, one of our leading players. This means Roby and the Death Eagle are still very much so in this.
Okay, Dragon's dream stays alive as well.
Wait, Death Eagle's still alive?
Okay, we've got a lot of points still ahead here as we're getting deeper and deeper into the doors puzzle. I'm not even, do you guys know what door we're on here? I'm having a hard time just even keeping track of how quick they're moving.
Our contestants are moving so fast, it's almost impossible to tell. Eyes spotted Screech as well there for Jay. He avoids it and stays alive.
Yeah, good camera work. And it's important to note from the observers, those quick spins, those quick turns, they matter so very much in this game. Those are all tactical. You are looking for monsters. You are getting the response. Did someone fall here? No. Death Eagle gets caught. We hear some emotion coming out behind us, but he is not out of this. Thankfully, he had the HP bar to deal with that.
I think I saw door 68 there. 69, 70, they're still going.
I think narrowly avoiding Eyes there, and Rush as well, but someone falls to Rush. Who was that we just lost? That was Poke Dragon. And coming in with only 75 points, receiving 30 for that finish. It's not going to be them moving on either.
All right, well, folks, this actually is an exciting trio because this order does matter as you are fighting for your life here. Roby and the Death Eagle in a good spot, but guess what? I believe 3J still has a chance here if he can be the top finisher and knock Roby down.
Every one of these positions gets you 20 points ahead of your next opponent. The Death Eagle is within 20 of Roby. 3J is just about 22 behind the top finisher as well. So he basically needs to win and have Roby be the next out if he wants to make it here.
Time is ticking. After these final 5 seconds, HP bars will not matter. We'll drop down to 1, which someone has an offensive item.
That's a very
Sudden
big pickup.
death has begun.
Stop sign could put an end to it. Jay has his chance. Death Eagle
Boom,
is gone.
Jay goes down. And this is it. The winner of this will actually be the survival. Wait, who just went down here? Was
It's
Jay?
Roby against 3J.
Jay, all right.
1v1. The first one to land any damage will take this one home. Roby, though, came in as the points leader, has his chance to shore things up, and finds a hiding position.
Wow.
He wins it.
Oh, and just like that.
11 points heading into doors, and he'll come out with 100 more. Roby, an incredible performance by him. We'll have to tally it up, but that should put him in a position to make it.
His usual stoicism broken for a brief smile. We hope we enjoyed that. That is a huge victory. The winner of doors. And a massive return to form for Roby, a definite fan favorite from early on in this competition.
And, you know, it's amazing. He was a step away. He was the worst performing player in slap battles after coming in with the most points. He comes in with the most points again, finds his redemption in doors.
Didn't have to call him out like that, but yes, congratulations to him. And also, amazing commentary on you guys' end there because I was just trying to keep up the whole time, and I could not.
It is an overwhelming game.
What was going on. Like I said, I've always been carried indoors my entire career, so seeing players play individually is very impressive.
Well, that's a wrap for doors, and more importantly, a wrap on our qualifying round. And well, the umpires verify the ratings and update the leaderboard. Let's get some reactions from Geach and Sabrina.
My initial reaction, wow. Just wow, that was some next level gameplay. How long do you think you would have survived, Sabrina?
I would have ran into the wall and died immediately. That was way different than normal doors that I've played. It was so fast.
Yeah, my eyes could barely keep up. It's already moving fast, but then we're zooming between the screens too.
How did they know what to do?
I couldn't tell you. There was so much going on, and that level was really different.
Yeah. And they were able to sabotage each other?
Yeah.
Was I seeing that?
That's a pretty cool addition to doors, as complicated as it already is. And then now you're playing against people, not just alongside each other. Because I guess typically when you play doors, you're working as a unit, working together to get as far as you possibly can together. And now we're adding in the element of competition, which takes it to a new level.
So in that case, I would not survive very long.
Yeah,
to answer your question.
I hear you. I'm not making it out of the lobby. I guess the elevator. I'm not making it out of the elevator.
Is that as far as you've made it?
Actually, I think I've made it to the library before, where you kind of have to be stealthy.
That's pretty far.
I'd say yes. Maybe I've had to use a Robux or two, to buy a revive because
I have had my fair share of pay to win.
Yeah, I can't even say pay to win because
you can't really pay to win.
I didn't win. I just came back a couple of times to try and get a little further. Once those chase scenes start with that big long monster, down the hallways and stuff in the library, that's just kind of it for me. You gotta
the soundtrack too, and all of the monsters, all the sound design is so phenomenal. I am curious, did you experience April Fool's indoors last year?
No, because how things work for me is once I get to a point where I just realize that it's not really for me because I love doors.
You said your favorite genre was horror.
Yeah, but see, it's the stealth factor because I love horror. It's fun, right? But then with doors, it's a little different. You have so many other factors. It's puzzle, which I also like that too, but it's the sneaking through. I'm telling you, because that's the furthest I ever get is that doggone library with that monster kind of tiptoeing around. And somehow I'm not good at that. I can't really get through. So yeah, the furthest I've probably gotten is that. But no, I didn't get to do the April Fool's one. It's been a minute since I played doors.
Yeah, the April Fool's one was totally done by mouth. All the sound design. It was the developers. They mouthed everything. The music and everything. It was very funny.
Do you remember how it went? Can you sing it?
Dude.
Are we gonna get copyright?
No, I don't think I'm gonna do it.
No, are we? No? Okay, well let's
Okay. Should we take a look at the chat?
What's
See what the chat is saying?
The chat was really excited for doors. That's all they were asking for all day. Slap battles and doors. So I feel like they finally got what they wanted.
They are screaming, "We believe in you, Eagle."
Oh,
okay, Eagle.
And the chat's been rooting hard for Eagle from the beginning too. Eagle, you had a solid fan base.
Dang. Okay. Roby though, Roby is doing a really good job.
Let's talk about Roby being the sleeper here for real, because I feel like Roby's been kind of killing it all the way through, but it's always just been he's always been falling just a little bit short. Yep. But it's he's been really pulling it out. Last minute. Roby is clutch. Roby is the definition of clutch. That's what we really got going on here.
So you said that your favorite genre is horror, but you haven't beat doors. And I'm just curious, what makes a Roblox game instantly fun for you?
For me, definitely shareability. I just made that up. Because I love to play games with my friends or my community, shout out Geechee Gang. I love to be able to play games and introduce people to the things I love, including
That's what Roblox
video games.
is about.
It's perfect for that. So I really love that. Funny enough, I want to say Slap Battles was probably the first game where I really said, I have to tell everybody about this. This is hilarious. It's a lot. It's very fast paced a little bit, but it was so funny to watch.
I'm really bad at slap battles, but I did beat the developer, and he did say he could give me an admin glove, so maybe I'll follow up on that.
What does an admin glove even consist of? What can you do?
I don't know. I have no idea, but that would be pretty cool.
You know what I would do if I could create a glove? I'd make a zombie glove, right? Hear me out. So,
Hear me out.
You take your zombie glove and you start smacking people. And every time you smack somebody, you're now in control of them. Now they go do your dirty work for you, and they just go wipe out the rest of the map for you. So now you can do like Roby, kick it in the tree somewhere, you know what I'm saying, and just sit back and kind of just watch your work, you know? I think I'd go with that.
Okay. I'm going to look more at the chat over here now that we're probably caught up.
And so with that being said, I talked about how I really enjoy being able to share, my moments in my games with my friends and stuff like that. And this was a really cool opportunity for that as well, because, this is the first event of its kind. What are some events involving Roblox that you've been able to participate in? Because you said you did the hunt itself. So what are some other events that you've done?
My favorite event was definitely RPO Egg Hunt 2018. It like changed my life kind of. It made me really look at Roblox differently.
Bro, please say
it was
RB
all about
battles,
community,
Sabrina, bro.
all about
RB
working together.
battles.
And so we made an event that was really heavily inspired by it, called
Which
RB Battles.
I was gonna say the chat has been talking about that too. Yeah, tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, we make a championship series sometimes. We've done 3, and we love to do something similar to this. And so this is exactly what I think the community was asking for with the hunt, with all the secrets and the hunting and everything. Roblox super delivered on that. And I think it's been really, really well done. I participated in the whole thing, and I love it.
Awesome.
Okay, it looks like we are ready. I am dying to know who's moving on. Any updates, J Party?
Please tell us.
All right. The results are in, Sabrina. And a quick reminder that scores are cumulative for this round. So the contestants with the most points from all 5 games will be advancing. And even though only one of you will be moving on, you all get a good shout out and be proud of yourselves. With 180 million visits to this hub, you had a lot of competition and proved these were the top 10 best in the world. You did incredible work, you solved incredible things, and cemented each and every one of you in Roblox history as legends in the Hunt Mega Final. But without further ado, while we celebrate our last progress into the top 4, we want to say goodbye to our heartfelt competitors who had a good run today. So, let's find out who's going home right now. Heading out first, unfortunately, we're going to say goodbye today to our friend from up north, Poke Dragon 100,000. You did great. Take your final walk away from the stage. Thank you, Poke Dragon 100,000. All right. Going on next, we're going to have a heartfelt goodbye to Icicle. Come on out. You did fantastic. I think you had some wonderful wins, some wonderful moments. Unfortunately, we're saying goodbye today. Coming out next from our competition is, unfortunately, Anonymous Lime. We have to say goodbye today. You did fantastic work. Can't say enough. Again, beating millions and millions out for their spot today in the top 10 Anonymous Lime. Thanks again. All right, heading out next of our competition is the one and only Mad Max. We're sorry to say goodbye. A fantastic run. Again, thank you so much for all your hard work. That was exciting stuff. And now the next unfortunate contestant to head out of this competition is the Death Eagle. Say goodbye. You got a lot more fans today from the chats at home. The Death Eagle, wonderful stuff, wonderful job, incredible highlights, and that was incredible to see. All right, folks, they have been eliminated, but guess what? We have 2 folks remaining, and we're going to announce our winner. But first, why don't we bring them up? Why don't you come up here and join me in the middle of the stage here?
Bring them up here.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. This is good. This is good. All right, folks, come on down. Let's put one of you. Yeah, we'll have you here, over here. Excellent. All right, how we feeling? Time to relax. Still amped?
So many emotions running through my head right now. It's crazy.
All right, folks. Well, this was a wild journey. And after 5 games, you 2 hold the highest scores, which means one of you will be moving on into the next round, and the other is unfortunately going home for now. All right. Without further ado, the contestant with the highest score today is Roby 100. You are moving on. Thank you, sir. Big round of applause.
Hey.
A handshake today. Really appreciate it, 3J. Hey, you did great stuff. Get in here. Whatever we need. Wonderful work, my friend. We'll see you soon. All right. Again, 3J, thanks for all your hard work. This was an incredible journey, incredible performance. But today, Roby, you just entered your top 4. Are you ready? You're going to be in it.
I'm excited. I'm so excited. I mean, like that last round, like it all came down to that final game. Like, so everyone was so close. Like I Bro, that was the most stressful game of Doors I've ever played in my entire life. Like, bro, I was shaking the whole time. I was just so locked in. That was the only thoughts going through my mind were, Doors, hide here, hide here. Oh, there's a thing coming. Hide in here. I was like, bro, it's actually, but yeah, it was, I'm really excited. I'm really excited for the final.
Well, that was incredible. You heard it here, the most stressful game, the most stressful mode, and the most stressful performance. But guess what? You made it. Take a deep breath. You've got a whole new world of competition ahead of you, and 3 other challengers await you in the back. But for now, incredible stuff. You showed amazing perseverance today. And again, that's a big time. How'd you prepare for today?
I played a lot of games. I honestly, I practiced Doors the most, so that really came in clutch there at the end. I was like, after the mode came out, April 1st, I just played it for hours until I had to leave to California, and that worked out in the end, so I'm glad I did that.
Do you typically win when you play online with all the other folks, just in the general Roblox population?
I hold my place. I do fairly well. Yeah, I was really close to edging out of those few other rounds, and then right at the end, yeah. But.
All right, incredible stuff, Roby100. Thanks you again. You're going to join your fellow competitors in the top 4, and we'll let you go and do that because we're going to get ready for the next round. It is exciting. It is a competition that is just heating up. But wait a minute, I just got word that we've got a surprise guest. I think they're going to share their thoughts. Maybe we can jump over to our correspondence team and see who we've just got.
Thanks, Jay Party. Joining us to give his analysis is content creator Doors expert Creekcraft. That was
Hi.
Hi. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you guys?
We are excellent. We are on the edge of our seats through this competition.
I know this has been like so crazy to watch, just like back and forth. Like I'm sweating over here, and I'm not even playing.
Me too. That was so suspenseful. But Creek, how are you feeling about what just happened?
I don't think I've ever seen a game of Doors played like that. Like it was so fast. I couldn't even tell at some points what was going on because they were just going so fast. They were moving so fast. It was crazy.
Those were exactly my words.
Yeah, it was quick. Have you ever considered like what it might be like to play a game of Doors with all these added features to it? Because now you've got attacks, you've got bombs, you've got weapons, you've got extra attack. Now you're playing against people instead of just playing it to win it. How do you approach something like that?
You know, before I saw them play, I was like, you know what? I think I'd be pretty good at this. And now it's like, no, I'll let them play. I'll just sit over here and watch from the sidelines.
No way, Jose.
So are you saying you would not play against any of these guys?
Yeah, definitely not for money. We'll say that. Like for funsies, maybe, but money on the line, ain't no way.
I would like to see Tanker.
You think he can handle that pressure?
I would love to see Tanker fight them. I would love to see Tanker.
I'm feeling the pressure here, and I'm not even in it.
Make that happen. I would like to see Tanker.
So who do you think is going to win?
I mean, not fight.
Oh, that's tough. I don't know. I feel like the fan favorite right now is Roby. But I don't know. They're so good. I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens next.
For sure. Sorry, go ahead.
You can go.
Okay, so I want to know, how did you feel? Because, you've been watching. How do you feel about these guys' performance? So we have Duddy Dud, Anterel, Shafe, and now Roby. How do you feel about their performance up to this point?
Watching Blade Ball was crazy. I don't think I've ever seen someone so good at that game in my life. Like, it just constantly winning every round. Like, impressive. Super impressive. I never want to go up against him in my life.
Whose dress to impress outfit was your favorite?
It's funny because I'm kind of bad at the game a little bit. So I was just watching it and I could tell that it probably wasn't their number one game on Roblox. So I was I'm like, okay, I see what's happening here. I gotta go with man, I don't even know. I think the second round, I think Iron Mouse said this. I think the second round, they did a lot better than the first round. They were a little bit more acclimated with the game, a little bit more prepared, knew where everything was at. So I don't know any specifics. The one with the double wings, who was that?
Yes, that was
Death Eagle.
Eagle, yes.
Death Eagle, Deagle, yeah, him. That one was probably my favorite. Deagle's his new name.
That was my favorite as well.
I think everybody really did like that one. That was a huge hit with everybody watching.
Who do you think would do better in a racing game?
Ooh. That's a good question. I feel like the more like twitchy movements of like blade ball and like doors would probably be a little bit like helpful. So I'm gonna go with Antarel on that one.
Interesting. Yeah, I would say Antarel or Roby myself.
I was going to say the exact same thing because the way that Antarel's reflexes worked for Blade Ball really worked in his favor, but then the maneuvering that Roby, applied to get through doors, even when it seemed like, we didn't know how that was going to go, that's definitely going to work in their favor for the racing one.
Yeah, they all survived like really long too on that. I was playing a little bit of the doors game mode since it came out, and like typically they go kind of fast, but they were hanging in there. Everybody did like a really, really good job. Came down to it.
So what was your favorite part so far of this entire
Event.
Competition?
Ooh, it was okay. Probably the back and forth in soccer, Super League Soccer was crazy. That was very exciting to watch. And then of course slap battles, because it's such a funny game. Just people just slapping and farting all over the map. But there's $1 million on the line,
Right.
So
I was going
if
to
I had
ask.
to pick, I'd
sorry, go
say
ahead.
slap battles.
Slap battles. All right. So how would you approach that if you were, in that slap battles? Because now you have to factor in the level kind of being destroyed as you go. Do you think you could have handled that?
Look, I don't really play slap battles that much anymore, because every time I do, I get destroyed by a bunch of 8-year-olds on their iPads, and it makes me so sad. So I probably wouldn't even make it to that far in the competition, to be honest with you.
Okay, I have a question for you, Greek.
Uh-oh.
Who's more likely to open a cursed door, me or Geech?
Oh.
Ooh. That's a good question. Deej, you said you haven't played Doors that much, right?
No, I've definitely played it. It's played me more than I've played it, for sure. But yeah, I've got a little experience with it,
I'm gonna go with Sabrina. I feel like you're a little bit more unlucky in games like this.
What? Listen, I beat Pressure, okay? I beat the Mega Token. Come on.
That one was hard. You said that was your hardest one, right?
Yes, it was. It was my hardest one. But I also have gotten further than her indoors.
Allegedly.
But I'll take it. I'm the one that'll probably open the cursed door. You were probably correct.
I will say, though, although I haven't played a lot, I haven't gotten very far indoors, it only took one cursed door for me to never do it again. And that was way in the beginning. So I'm just saying,
What even is a cursed door?
Oh, so now you don't know. She doesn't know what a cursed door is, you guys. No, so for those of you who don't know, indoors, you have to find the correct door. The cursed door is when you happen to step into the incorrect door. So if you're on the wrong floor, you think you're going to 16, but really you've already done 16. You go into the 16 door, you're insta-kill. That's it for you. Game over. So, yeah, like I said, it only took me one time. Never had to do it again.
You get jump scared.
Oh, I'm so...
Not a fun time.
Oh, listen, I'm so easily jump scared. That's the problem, see. My nerves, my anxiety is so bad, but I love horror so much, so I can't help myself. I don't know what it is, but yeah, those jump scares.
What about you? What about Creek? How many times have you screamed at doors?
Oh man, I remember when the cursed doors, I think they're called the mimic doors, they first came out, and I didn't know what it was yet, and that first time it like really got me. I like to think I'm a little bit better at it now, but see, the problem is remembering what door you're on.
Yep.
And I have the memory of a goldfish. I don't know if it's just because I'm getting older or not, but like I get really bad at that, and so it's not a fun time for me.
Dang. Well, I'll make sure we have you playing more scary games.
See now I want to see what it's like for you to play this new level, this new version of Door. I want to see you do the competitive mode now, because even though you were like, oh yeah, that in the beginning, it kind of got me a little bit. I just feel like you're too comfortable. So now I feel like you got to really push yourself and get into like the new modes and see how you can hang with the folks throwing grenades at you while you're sliding under a wall and also trying to ward off a screech.
We'll see. I'll reach out to one of these guys at the end, and maybe we can arrange something and see just how I do. I'll probably die in the first 5 seconds, but we'll see.
Do you have a favorite entity / monster?
Oh, see, okay. from looks, I gotta go. This is about to be the most long-winded answer. Of all
Take your time.
Like,
Yes, do it, please. Let's hear it.
I got it. So I like Figure because I think he's probably like the most iconic in terms of like villains for doors. My favorite entity though is probably got to be the new Sally window entity that I think was like a few updates ago.
What update
they
is
added
that?
Sally
Wait,
in.
what update is that?
My least favorite though, got to go with Ambush. Hearing Ambush come, it like my heart drops. What about you guys?
I really hate Ambush so
I don't
much.
know. I hate Screech because he's just annoying. But a favorite. I was saying Rush earlier because I just made up a stupid reason.
I would say that
because
one,
I would
one entity they
never mind.
said
Don't even
was,
listen to
like,
me.
When you run into the door, it automatically kills you. I
Okay,
hated
so
that.
I asked her, I
hate it.
said, if you could partner up with one of the entities, which one would it be? Yeah. But thank you so much, Krieg. Entertaining as always. Appreciate you for joining us, man.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. And keep up the good work.
All
This is
right,
awesome.
Thank you.
All right, so we're going to throw it back to Jay Party. Come on, Jay Party. Tell us where we are.
All right, my friends, we are back. Creek, always a pleasure to see you. I hope we hang out again soon. But folks, we're going to keep things moving and kick off the round of 4, which is, of course, a double elimination challenge. Win twice, you're in. Lose twice, and you are out. And all 4 players will play both Driving Empire and Rivals. So you'll be getting some driving and some shooting in to see who's the best.
Empire.
All right, folks, get ready for some adrenaline-pumping racing action because Driving Empire is going to start our round off with the final round of 4.
6. Driving Empire. There are 2 matches in a 1 versus 1 format. Whoever crosses the finish line first wins. All 4 contestants will advance to the next game.
All right. We're in for Driving Empire. Folks, how familiar are you with Driving Empire or maybe driving in general?
I haven't known to drive here and there in real life. Driving Empire, though, not so much. I think I have played it once before for a different event, so not too familiar with it.
I don't have a car in real life, but I've played Driving Empire a fair bit. It's a really fun game. It's cool. It's one of those kind of special games. You have a ton of licensed cars. You have a ton of options to choose from. Today, all our contestants are going to be rocking the same vehicle to put us on a level playing field. But it's definitely an intense one. Going head-to-head in a race against one other contestant. You make one mistake. You turn slightly too much into a corner. You collide with one thing, and that could set you back for this entire race. And now no one's going to be eliminated in Driving Empire, but if you lose Driving Empire, you lose your opportunity to be the undefeated player into the $1 million round, which is an absolutely huge advantage there.
All right, let's check out some shots and remind the folks at home who exactly is in this Final 4 competition. And here they are. We have rearranged the studio. You're seeing Shafe and Roby here. Roby coming off an intense win indoors to secure his spot as the 4th finalist here. Exciting stuff. I know Shafe's had a bit of a break now. He's been able to breathe, collect his thoughts. Here we are in the new studio, thinking things out, getting set up in the game. It's exciting stuff. I know, Roby, a big fan from the chat out there. Hopefully he's got his fans still supporting him now in the top 4. And again, Dud and Anturel, the first 2 to qualify, they truly just cleaned up in the initial rounds.
And if you were playing, would you rather have qualified early like someone like Anturel or Dudadad, or would you rather come in hot after playing through every one of the qualifying round games?
I mean, it is a little risky, but I definitely would have loved to be in Roby's position just because he had played a more larger variety of games and definitely warmed up and got the adrenaline going. So I see him doing some good work in the next few rounds.
All right. We'll see if that momentum can keep him moving forward or if the pause will be too much. Anyway, it's time to get things going. We're moving into Driving Empire. Let's kick things off with our first round. We're going to see who the top 2 racers are. And again, this is a 1v1 race. They'll both be driving the 2024 GT Mark II around an exciting track, and there will be no collision on. Truly a time trial against one other player to see who's on top.
Well, it's the green car versus the light blue car. Roby against Dud in our first round here, and they're revving up their engines, ready to go and get us off to the races here.
All right, we are underway here, right on this bridge start here. This is going to be 3 laps around this arena, and this is an interesting course. There actually is a handful of shortcuts throughout it as, we see some stuttering on that first turn there, and then we see our first opportunity for a shortcut not taken by the blue player. Roby falling a little behind. A lot of race to go, though.
The risk with the shortcuts is if you don't land them perfectly, you can end up flipping your vehicle or kind of veering off in a weird way. So you really have to consider, and you see the second shortcut. The blue car takes that. That's Dudadud now pulling ahead here, but catching up with a lot of speed is Roby on the overtake. He's out in front again.
Yeah, that was an interesting one. You saw the shortcut take, but again, going through the dirt there is going to slow your car down on that attempt for a max speed maneuver. But this dangerous turn, we've seen this cost a lot of players time here, and they kind of weave their way through it with Roby actually getting in the lead there, taking a little bit of a tiny shortcut, but still neck and neck.
Very close competition. It's 3 laps around the course. We're about halfway through our second. Shortcut taken for Dudadud, and that's going to get him back into the lead here. But just around the corner, they're very close. I think right on each other's tails
that
here.
Was a big how important you think map knowledge is compared to actual cornering skills and speed?
Yeah, I think the map knowledge is incredibly important because that's where you got to apply your skills. And again, with the high speed shift, if you look at those mile-per-hour drops, it's huge. People are dropping almost 0 on some of these incredibly tight turns, and it's an important part of it.
Well, just around the corner from each other, Roby is trailing. He won that last round, the final player to qualify to this top 4, and he's falling behind in this race. Dudadud, he takes the corner here. How close is that green car? Does he have a chance to catch up? Because Dudadud is doing this one perfectly through the finish line. He'll take this home in first place as Roby rounds through in the second place of this round. And for Dudadud, an opportunity now to head into Rivals as a victor in the first round, maintain his second life, and for Roby, it's going to be last chances here when he heads to Rivals.
You know, true Roby style, he's got to keep it entertaining, taking a quick loss here in his first elimination. He's still in it. We want you to know that clearly, but he's only got one more chance to stay alive because, again, he keeps the drama flowing. But an exciting win. All right, folks, let's check out this Final Four leaderboard and see where we stand. This is how we're going to go through the double elimination here with Dudadud taking the win and Roby taking the loss.
So this might look a little confusing. It's as simple as an O means they won the round, the X means they lost it. It's all 1v1, so you'll only ever see 2 players represented per round. You have to win 2 before you lose 2, which means at maximum, you'll play 1 round of Driving Empire and 2 of Rivals. The win here for Dudadud. As we're mentioning, though, it means when he heads into Rivals, he'll have 2 matches and 2 opportunities to qualify.
Yeah, definitely. And I was just taking a look at the chat here while you were talking. We put up a vote on who will win this round, and it looks like the fans were supporting Roby. So hopefully he makes his comeback going into Rivals.
Well, we appreciate his drama. All right, 1 match down and 1 more to go. Coming up next, we've got Antaral and Shafe heading in with the orange and gray car. We're going to have Shafe
orange color.
In the orange. Yeah, it's a good color. We appreciate them matching their jersey colors for this competition. And here is the warm-up. Let's see who will get first off the gun here. Exciting times. And all right, across the bridge they go. No initial mistakes from either player. Coming into this first bank, this is where we see the people going a little too quick, hit this rock wall, and take a huge loss. But no, clean for both of them.
Very nice cornering from Antaral, the player with the most Roblox experience. 16 years since he first played a game on the platform. Still looking strong in this one.
Yeah, they've come a long way, I'm sure, from what his first game was that first week of the platform. But hey, still going strong.
No one's electing to take that ramp.
Oh, there's a crash there. I think Shafe might have just fallen, or Antaral, that is, might have just fallen behind. Yeah,
wow.
Antaral had the opportunity, and unfortunately, he falls into a trail position here.
Yeah, huge mistake there. Flies off the course and loses a ton of time. But that's what shows you it's still anyone's game within this race. Yeah, he's going to need those shortcuts. Now's the time to put it all on the line and just take every shortcut you can.
Shafe, he had a job opportunity in New York City. He put off his orientation for that job to take the risk. Come here, compete for $1 million, truly putting important things in his life on hold to put it all out there for us, and at least thus far getting rewarded. We're heading towards the final lap, and it's still a good lead for Shafe, but one mistake and Antaral will be right on him.
That was a great backstory. That almost had me in tears.
Well, so far looking like a good choice as he is in the top 4, and that $1 million signing bonus could be a thing. Although for now, this race is looking a little rough as he still falls further behind here. Shafe has taken a dramatic lead. We'll see if he crashes. That's kind of what he's relying on at this point as he comes through one of the final banks here before the straightaway across the bridge, and that is a good high-speed moment for them.
We're coming up towards the final corners, and Shafe, he hasn't made a mistake yet. He'll round the corner and take things home.
Oh, man. Good thing he clears that.
Into the water. He hits the final checkpoint, and Shafe wins his round. He'll face up against Dudadud in the 1-0 game when we head over to Rivals. It really goes to show that in Driving Empire, One mistake, that's all it takes to lose out. Andurel was looking great, but crashes once and he's out.
Yeah, I mean, how long did each lap take? Like under a minute?
Yeah, that's a
Very
fast
fast
game.
A lot of time to catch up.
You know, in true racing style, we appreciate the Driving Empire folks. But hey, I think it's time to check out this leaderboard and see the results of this match.
And there it is. Shafe with a win. Dudadud undefeated as well. So Roby and Anturel, they'll be facing elimination in Rivals.
An exciting, exciting game. Roby, keeping it dramatic as always. We'll see who can do it. Anturel, the defensive player of the early game soccer, coming through here in the shooters. We'll see if he can keep it going.
I think every viewer is foaming at the mouth to watch Rivals coming up next.
Hey, but first, let's check in with our correspondents, Team All-Stars. Geesh and Sabrina, what's going on, you two?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I need to catch my breath. That was some high speed, high stakes racing. Sabrina, what did we just witness?
We witnessed some intense racing. I thought that like at first it was gonna be really close, and then at the very end, like Shafe got really in front.
Yeah. It seemed like it kind of happened that way with both races too.
They were just neck and neck for like most of it until the very end.
Right, because you figure the first race you had who did we have? Dud and Roby, which I was really sad to see them go against each other because I wanted to see them go a little further together. But excuse me, y'all. You know, I kind of been watching both of them, and you know they've both exhibited such high skill level as it's come to all of these games. And we even talked about with Creek, you know, who did we think would have more of the advantage when it came to the racing game? And then we had, you know, Roby with the maneuvering, and then we had
off the
Anturel,
edge, like going off the edge and like doing the really quick turnaround.
right?
That was like pretty. It looks like they practiced that map a lot.
Right, and then also Anturel with Blade Ball, you know, being so quick on the draw, and you know, just that same, you know, level of maneuvering. And both of them got beat.
Yep.
I didn't see that coming. I mean, shout out to you guys. You did it. You know, you did the thing. But
And some of them still have chances, so.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be pretty fun to see how this goes moving into Rivals now because, you know, you still, with that at this point, you got to have like actual skill. You have to have, you know, game IQ. You got to have the quick reflexes. You've got to have, you know, the movement. You know, you got to be quick, you know. So
I'm not good at that.
I'm not either. That's why
I'm not in the top 10.
Me too. Yeah, me too.
I got a question for you though. So they've done some interesting brand collabs in this game. Which one are you most impressed with? McLaren, Porsche, or NASCAR?
Oh, honestly, I'm impressed. I'm super impressed that anybody could get McLaren on board. You know what I'm saying? That's really dope. So yeah, I think that's I'd have to say that one.
Okay. Well, we're gonna give it right back to J Party and look at the score.
All right. Thank you, and welcome back to our competition here. Things are just heating up, and we're going to get this next round underway, folks. So, if I understand correctly, coming up, it's going to be the intense elimination matches happening on Rivals. Mimi, what do you think?
I mean, I just think that was such a good time to start already in Driving Empire. But Rivals was the match that I was the most excited to get into here. I think this is going to be just a true test of reactions, of game knowledge, and the way that you position. There's a lot to think about when you're going into Rivals.
Well, yeah, in my personal opinion as well, a 1v1 in a first-person shooter is the true test to see a gamer's true skills. So definitely very excited to see that.
Great, folks. Well, Dudadud and Shafe are one win away from advancing. If you thought things were already intense, get ready, because Rivals is coming up next.
Game 7, Rivals. There are 3 matches in a 1-versus-1 format. Contestants must choose their weapon, then kill their opponent to win. 2 contestants will advance to the final $1 million round.
Here we go, our first match of Rivals, where we will find out our first contestant making it to the $1 million round. It's Dudadud and Shafe taking stage. Let's hop into our first match here. When we're talking about Rivals, guys, there's really a lot to think about. I think first and foremost, as the players are working through it now, is the item bans. You can choose what map you're going to, what weapons you're taking away, and try and strategize early on.
Right, yeah. I mean, not just aiming and reaction time, but gun selection is very key to the in the 1v1s.
Yeah, it absolutely is. He's going to go over and get ready to receive our winner who makes it to that top 2.
You're leaving us.
We're going to be finding out. I mean, he's got to greet whoever wins this round, but it's first to 5. Our map is selected, and we are just about ready to go.
First round in construction.
What are we looking for in this map, Enyu?
I think that moving a container box in the middle is a very good way to distract your opponent. A lot of head glitches, I feel like, on this map, so hopefully the players use that to their advantage.
Interesting. In the blue there, going to be the minigun selected. A little different from what we've seen before. Let's see if we can hop into one of our players' POVs and really get a look at the action here. Down in the low ground is Shafe trying to find connections. Low ammo on that weapon, and he'll find the reload. Has to dip out and find cover again. Damage on both sides. Minigun trying to find the connection. He's spamming away. Both down to 1 HP, and Shafe gets the first round on the board.
Very well done. I wonder why Dudada there gave up his high ground there for a second. Not sure, but you know, they're better than me, so I'm sure he made the right choice.
AR, good damage, going through, bursting out of ammo, switches to secondary. One shot straight to the dome.
Always love seeing revolver kills. They're very satisfying.
Shafe up 2-0 now. Remember, it's first to 5 in this round of competition. More headshots landing for Shafe. He has been so precise in this match thus far. And Dudadud has to rally here. Reflections onto the minigun fire, but it's Shafe yet again, going huge for 3, Enyu.
That is it. This might be turning out to be a blowout. I would hate to see it. See if Dudadud can make a comeback.
Shafe, you see him, good with the movement. Gets the drop on his opponent, but eats some damage back. Katana on the reflection. No shots received off of him.
That was
That's
a good damage.
Lots of damage exchanged on his first burst of the AR. Finds time for a reload, and did he fall off the map? Oh, that's a fumble you can't have at this point in the tournament.
The self-sabotage. That is sad. That is very unfortunate.
And that's when the pressure gets to you.
Oh, using the environment?
One little mistake. Another chance. This could be the closeout. Trying to use the slingshot of all weapons.
Interesting choice.
And trying to stay alive here for Dudadud. And make it as that undefeated contestant to the obby.
You'd wonder if that's a secret weapon or if he's giving up on the competition.
You know he wants that $1 million more than anything. You know what this means to these contestants. He's really trying to bait Shafe into the low ground. Shafe, though, not taking the bait. He wants to hold his strong positioning up top and force his opponent to go on the offensive. Good damage, and finally Shafe falls. A chance here,
right,
but a slim one. He'd have to run it all the way back.
He's got to get 4 more in a row, which is very difficult.
Shafe back to his same position. Finds his opponent in the center. That's good damage. Finds a space for a reload. He's 1 kill away from the $1 million round. Good damage on a Dudadud. Can Shafe do it? His opponent's on 1 HP, and with the revolver, Shafe closes things out. He's the first player to make it to your $1 million round.
That was very impressive, and Dudadud was actually the first to advance into the top 4, so it's sad to see him lose here.
A tough one for him indeed. He'll have a second chance down in that lower bracket in the 1-1 game here, but that's huge for Shafe. It means he's going to be heading into the obby with 2 opportunities to win. His opponent would have to defeat him with a bracket reset. And let's check in with that leaderboard, show you guys how we're doing. Of course, 2 wins in a row. That's good enough for Shafe.
Definitely, and just looking at the chat votes here, as Shafe also had the popular vote, so it looks like they had the right idea on who was going to win this match.
Truly an impressive player, Shafe. I think back to some of our earlier competitions, he only got 16 points in DTI, but won every single round of Super League Soccer, earning 60 points there, 25 then in Blade Ball, and rallying back right at the very end. A big congratulations to Shafe here. Let's see if we can maybe check in with him, and as we see him moving his way on into that $1 million round. A great moment here for Shafe.
It's a huge sigh of relief.
Very impressive from him, but we're ready to continue. We still have more matches. So I believe now we're going to head down to our 0-1 round, which means it's Roby and Antarel. They're playing for their lives in the tournament at this point.
This is definitely elimination, so if, as you said, one of them loses, they are completely out of the tournament. No other chances given to them.
And this is where the pressure really starts to mount. It's a game of inches, of a little bit of damage going either way, and When the pressure's on, when the stakes are this high, it's easy to make a mistake. I mean, we saw Dedede, I think, falling off the map in that last one. Little mistakes like that can lose you a life-changing sum of money.
Right. Well, that's the thing about Rivals, right? Is the movement speed is very fast. It's almost like parkour, but you can use that to your advantage, but you also got to be very careful, especially a map like Construction.
What did you think about the gun selection in our first one? Because we went a little unconventional there with Dedede, and I don't think it paid off.
I am a little bit surprised. I do like the minigun because I'm in the business of spraying and praying. But yeah, no, definitely not the right choice in hindsight.
Well, the players, they're banning weapons into our lower rounds here, making careful consideration of what they want to compete against. Anything that you would want to ban away if you were a competitor here, Enyu?
I will probably ban the assault rifle.
Really? It is the one where a lot of players like to play. When I'm playing this game, I almost always lock the AR.
It is the favorite. So if the assault rifle gets banned, people have to get a lot more creative, and that will make for some interesting matches. But doesn't look like that happened.
And it's the tried and true. Here we go. Elimination match. Anturel facing off against Dedede.
Oof. I am sweating, and I am not even competing.
Anturel gets the first lick of damage. A bigger map that we're playing on here. Wide open on the crossroads. Up top, Anturel a bit stuck in this lower down position, trying to find his opponent. Still, not getting any information. Nade goes up, that'll catch a little bit of damage, trying to find the headshot, jumping in the air. They're both low, but Roby on the revolver. The sidearms proving clutch yet again.
Yes, because, I mean, the magazine, the assault rifle is pretty small at
20 bullets, yeah.
Yeah, so you got to really use your secondary to its full potential there.
Roby was our last qualifier. Played every single round heading into this one, and already a good exchange of damage going both ways. They're both down to half HP. A reload found for each of these players. The utility off the Molotov. Doesn't find a connection. Over the top he goes. Melee in hand. Spots his opponent, but the shot's not landing. Roby in the air trying to find a connection, and he does it again.
Well done. One shot away from death. Roby clutches up.
Very nicely played from him. I think Roby thus far has had some impeccable movement in Rivals.
And it looks like the votes are in, and the viewers are voting for Roby as the favorite. So let's see if he could pull out these next. Whoa, there you go.
Got another. Yeah, we're up to 3-0 now. I want to focus on Anturel this round, because we're starting to get to dangerous territory. This man has got to turn this around when the pressure is high, when he's against a strong opponent.
And this is what I mean. Oh.
That damage, it's just incredible. He hasn't even received a lick of damage, and Roby's beamed him almost down to 0 HP. It would take an impeccable clutch to bring things back, but from mid-air,
amazing movements. Wow.
Roby off the top rope decimates Anturel. And we're on the verge of a sweep.
Oh, man. I would be so nervous if I was Anturel. And like I was saying earlier, this is where the 1v1 FPS shooters is where your skills really show.
It's all about mechanics in the 1v1. And again, Roby at range is dishing out the damage. Anturel, his last chance at $1 million, trying desperately to stay alive. Low health. An aid to try and connect.
Oh,
that's good damage, but
Molotov.
Still needs to find the shots at the end.
Looks like Anturel is electing to go with the ADS, with hipfire, even at long range.
They spot each other, though. Anturel trying to find this connection. The spread on the bullet's just a little bit too wide to be able to take his opponent down. That's a good nade, but doesn't quite find its mark. Anturel now moving back through. This is Roby here as well. Trying to look for an opportunity. Anturel!
Wow.
He's back with at least one round, Enyu.
The dreams stay alive.
That was an intense one. When it gets close like that, this map plays a lot differently. There's way more opportunities to hide, duck for cover.
Yeah, it's a very big map for 1v1.
Oh, lots of damage going both ways here. This could be the end for Anturel. He needs another round win in a row. And to even build more off of that. But he's taking damage. Spots his opponent.
Interesting reload time there. Not sure why he chose to do that.
Still, you always want as many opportunities, as many bullets you can. Any second, you want to get that reload through. And he's kind of lost. He can't find where his opponent is. But it's the same for Roby. We're watching a man on the verge of staying alive, of progressing, having a chance to play another round. And maybe make it to that $1 million.
They both understand the map very well, and it shows in their movement.
Anturel. Low health. 63 to his name against 60 on Roby. Low time, and Anturel again.
Bad timing there with, yeah, bad timing there with climbing up the stairs. Couldn't recover. Anturel spotted him first, so I think he could. Anything is possible.
Momentum's big if
He's
not in the actual
clutching
game, in the
up.
emotion. You feel like you have a chance when you start to score wins, rally through it. Range Roby, he's been successful.
Selling, bro. Roby's
Like Jay Party said, he likes to put us in an emotional roller
Bro,
coaster.
Roby's
Well, he does.
selling.
Couple shots missing, a little uncharacteristic of what we've seen from Roby thus far. A good
Bro,
name.
Roby's selling, actually.
Doesn't do too much damage. Reposition. Antarel still stuck into the low ground. It's a danger to contest at this range, but the shots are good. He's connecting again.
Wow.
4-3.
Bro,
He's one
Roby's
away from selling this
selling.
round. Yet
Roby's
again.
selling.
This is unbelievable. It did not seem that close
Dude,
from the
this
beginning.
cannot be real.
Certainly
right now.
didn't,
This
Anya.
cannot be real.
And now you have to start
this
to look at
cannot
this from
be real.
Roby's
How
POV.
is-
Can
how is
he
Antarel
close
clutching
this out?
this
He
up?
doesn't want to choke this opportunity away and find himself eliminated from a 4-0
Dude, that's what I
start
call
to
prove
rivals.
it.
Dives into the low ground, close quarters battle. It's coming down to the wire.
Did
Antarel
not turn around in
Oh
time.
my
Wow.
gosh.
The game is tied.
Bro,
I think Antarel is electing to stay in the low ground because he could just duck under the tunnels and move around and really lose Roby. It's happened a couple of times, so
How
great
in
strategy.
the world is he clutching this
4
up?
to 4.
Bro, Roby,
Everything
Roby,
comes down to
Roby,
this, but at range,
Roby,
Roby,
bro.
he wants to close this out. Don't let the game slip. Don't let this be the one on your memories as you go to sleep tonight.
Oh my god, oh my god.
Antarel.
Oh my god,
Low
oh my god.
again, but he's been clutch all game.
Oh
trying
wait,
to
I
dip
think
and
Roby's
dive.
gonna
He'll
win.
get back to
I
cover.
think
The
Roby's
safety
gonna
of
win.
the
He's
low
like,
ground, where
he's
been
like
successful
low
all
health.
game.
This is so intense.
Antarel.
This
Can
is
he
like.
do it?
There
down
he is
on
in the
HP,
tunnels.
Down on chances, trying to rally this one back.
Oh!
Roby.
Amazing prediction.
So
Also
risky.
sticking to his guns, he stays up top. Down below, gun's not out. Roby,
Oh!
he finds it and connects on through
Wow.
for his 5th round. Roby
What a
stays
close call.
alive, eliminates
Roby.
Antarel from the competition, and has another chance in
That
Rivals.
was
That
the most
almost slipped him by on you.
It almost feels like he planned this because he always does this to us. Coming back, in the last second for the win, very impressive. And you could see with his reaction there, like he did the hand gesture. He knew how close that was. So great job performing under pressure. Was anybody's game there.
That is an intense one indeed. It feels like that map plays so differently because I think you saw Roby was always successful at these long range fights. Antarel was always winning at these close range fights. But after that round, let's take a little peek at this leaderboard and talk more about it because that change up in strategy from Antarel was almost enough.
Right, and looks like Roby, his chance stays alive, and going into the 3rd Rivals match, he might just have another shot at taking over, going into the final obby.
It would be him against Dudadud. All of these players said they loved the obby. It was one of their most played. Years upon years of experience across these players. But for Antarel, the most experienced member on the stage today, unfortunately, that ends his competition. He had his moments. He almost brought it back. But today, Antarel has to walk home empty-handed. Let's hear it for him, though. He definitely had skill on display.
Oh, no, don't
he
make
really
him
showed
cry
his
like that,
worth
bro.
in Blade battles, qualifying through early off of that. A player who put a lot out onto that field today.
Keep your chin up, pal. Well done.
Would love to see him competing again sometime, but
don't
today,
make him cry
unfortunately,
like that.
it comes down to seconds. It comes down to 1 round, and he will not be moving on.
Yeah, it was a very, very close call. I'm still pumped.
Yeah, and I feel like you have to be as well if you're the player who made it through. Roby here, he has another game to play. And
Well,
it's going to be against another competitor.
yeah, this is it, folks. Last chance for Dud and Roby. Who will move on to compete for $1 million and who will be going home? Give us your
question.
answers in the chat.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what they say. I think Roby is,
Okay,
you know, you
there's
got to look
still
at him
more
as a
rounds.
strong competitor, especially. I think he showed great position at range, the way he was beaming with that AR, but in the close quarters fights wasn't quite as strong. Dudadud, however, the biggest thing I'm looking at is a weapon change. Frankly, I don't think the minigun really cuts it against a strong AR player.
I
'Cause
totally agree.
If I'm going up against the minigun and I'm Roby, I want to play a longer range map and I want to just use the advantage of that weapon.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, maybe Dud likes the Bandy assault rifle, seeing how great Roby is.
Honestly, it
that
would
could
be a
be part of the strategy.
good call, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
Of course, they're getting into the game now. It looks like they're starting to go through their bans. And it looks like we're going to be going to a little different map, Station. Talk to me about how this plays versus the other maps in the competitive pool.
Station, to me, is it going to be Station?
Oh, I apologize. It's actually Docks. But
Docks.
it plays a little similarly. Another one of those maps with a lot of cover, a lot of buildings to get up in.
Right. Yeah. You know what? Docks is definitely one of the fan favorites. So great map to end this last round on. Yeah, like you said, a lot of cover, a lot of buildings. So map knowledge and movement will be key. Staying on the high ground, very important.
And look at this pivot. Dud is moving to the classic AR revolver. I think that's a good choice.
Great change in strategy. And the sniper
Roby's going
rifle.
for the sniper. He's staking his chance at $1 million.
Wow.
On a new weapon.
Oh god, here we go.
It's a game about movement and avoiding that sniper, and soon Dud will see that glint. He'll 80-80 strafe his way on through and deal a lot of damage to start.
I mean, I believe Roby, with his accuracy, the sniper rifle could be a good choice here.
Could be. Revolver always in his back pocket. It's a bit more cumbersome than the other weapons in the game. And I love this. He's playing to his advantage. Stays in the low ground.
Yep.
Doesn't want to give range to his opponent with the sniper.
Yep. And Roby last round did chase a lot, but this time deciding to stay on the rooftop and not playing too aggressive with a sniper rifle. Definitely the right choice.
You see the clock at the top of your screen. When that runs out,
yeah.
What's going to happen then?
That was
I have
like
no idea.
so close.
It is actually so rare that it happens in Rivals. I believe then it should be the player with the more health winning that. We'll see if we get there. It's kind of a rarity to see Rivals actually play this slowly.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't get to that
Close
point.
range revolver. How does he win it? That's the sidearm coming up on top for Roby.
Wow, very impressive.
I'm astounded. True precision from him.
And looks like the votes are in. Over 3,000 votes. 77% going towards Roby for winning this final match. Let's see if he can pull off.
He nearly hit that midair. And it's almost devolving into a bit of a game of chicken.
Yeah, Dud need to stay under cover and try to move closer towards Roby. But that revolver shot is also very deadly, so he still needs to be careful.
The dash with the melee weapon equipped as well is a powerful tool to reposition into ways your opponent may not expect. Dud, he's just vying for information here, jiggling in and out of every corner. He spots out his opponent. Dips away. Does Roby go in for the kill? Does he want the hunt here? He does. Close in, trying to switch to his weapon. He's got nothing out.
Oh.
And he loses this round. Game tied again.
Yeah, interesting choice there. Not sure why he pulled out the fists.
I think he was trying to throw a grenade. He thought he had more space, but then got kind of caught off guard and it looked like almost panicked a little bit with the util.
Yeah, it is always dangerous to play so aggressive with a sniper, so... Looks like he completed some tasks there.
Yeah, thus far he has not hit a shot with the sniper, but now he lands one. 70 damage onto Dud. But of course he needs more than just that. The damage is good. Beaming him down, switch the revolver. They're both on the same. Dud takes the lead.
All three gunfights have been close quarters. I wonder if Roby decides to change weapon at some point here. Sticking with the sniper rifle.
I believe you're locked in once you choose.
Oh, you can't change now.
So,
oh, wow.
Well, he is committed to that sniper.
Wow.
He made his bet. He has to lie in it now, and whether that's one that'll bring him to the $1 million round or send him home empty-handed, could it be the revolver to do it? Good utility with the molly, trying to find it. Dud wins out in the duel of the secondaries, and he's up 3-1.
Dude.
Oh man, but if we know anything about Roby, he could pull off some miracles with comebacks, so I would not be surprised at all.
He was in the pole position last game. Nearly let it slip.
Great
He
movement.
closed it out.
Deciding to not stay in the high ground this time.
Yeah, Dud staying inside these buildings. He knows his advantage.
Yeah, it's so silent in this room. I feel like I could hear a pin drop. It's so intense.
And you look over at the competitors. They are so locked in.
Locked in.
They know what's at stake. If you were one of these competitors that made it within a hair's breadth of qualifying.
Ooh, what was that?
I think just
he got a
breaking
hit
the
marker
window
on
there.
that.
I believe that gives you one when you do break that. Not sure though. Could have even been a connection onto one of the barrels. Definitely wasn't onto Roby. He's still sitting at full health. Where is he though? They're both inside of buildings here. Bit of a slower game yet again.
30 seconds left.
Making a lot of steps here. Roby on high, revolver in hand. Down below, quick scope in, doesn't connect the
That was
shot.
so close.
And now with a lower bit of health, he has to win it out practically with just a revolver. But Dud's got the same. It's gonna be a standoff between these cowboys. Roby chasing down his opposition.
It's gonna be a draw.
Revolver in hand, the lower HP, and the time that runs out.
Oh.
Unfortunately, that means with lower health, Roby loses the round and he's facing down the barrel of match point.
Smart move by Dud there, knowing that the time was running out to just hide away to not get hit by Roby.
A chance, another
Nice
shot
shot.
connecting.
Oh
He
my
needs
God,
another
that was
though,
good.
and he's whiffing out. Needs
my
to
God.
find this
Oh.
connection. Third chance,
Oh.
third miss, a fourth going wide as well. Now the big eye
Oh, he's
on,
missing
on
every
his
single
hip.
shot.
It'll have to do. Both players locked into
He's
the revolvers.
missing every single shot.
Da-da-da this time can't rely on the time. He's sitting with lower health. And he's trying to just find anything at range here. There's a connection. More damage to even the
that was
score.
more
Second
damage.
shot landing as well. It'll bring things a bit closer.
Roby's
Roby on 1 HP. His life in his hands, but his opportunity missed.
That was so close.
His fourth shot with the sniper miss. He needs precision if he wants a chance at $1 million. Just barely spotting his
Just
opponent.
barely, bro,
Da-da-da
barely.
not giving him an inch. Playing off this time.
Dude, I'm so
Yeah, he
Playing
could
off his
also play
advantage.
it safe here this time.
Yeah, bounced
I'm
into
so
the air.
nervous right now. What the heck?
He knows he's off the HP advantage, and Roby, with lower health, he has to make the play. The onus is on him. His life, it's in his hands. And this game will be decided in the next 20 seconds. A game practically of hide and seek at this point. And where's he
true.
gone? Da-da-da, he's hiding. He's locked
Look
in
at that
towards the
smirk on his
shipping
face.
container. He knows what's happening.
knows what he's doing.
Roby, it's desperation. He's running. He's trying to find his opponent, but there's just no time.
The time is up.
Da-da-da!
Wow.
He wins the round, and he's our second contestant, progressing to the $1 million round.
Incredible. Very strategic.
Incredible.
Relying a lot on his smarts this time rather than his gun skills.
And for Roby, I think a brutal way to lose this one out. He took a risk picking into that sniper rifle, and
Roby,
it did not pay
bro.
off today.
Yeah, I wonder if he regrets that decision. Maybe we can ask him later.
I imagine it'll be something he's thinking about for a fair bit of time. For Da-da-da, though, I think he learned his lessons from the weapon selection mistakes in the first one. As we look at our final leaderboard from the round of 4, we, of course, get our 2 players into the $1 million round. It's Da-da-da, the lower seed, and Shafe, undefeated, coming through the upper bracket with his opportunity to win in the Tower of Hell. Truly, truly incredible stuff from them. But unfortunately, that of course means that we are sending another competitor home. For Roby, he had a great rally in those final few rounds of the qualification phase. But today, in Rivals, it was not his day. And, well, he had a great showing. He'll head home without his $1 million.
Sad to see a fellow fan of LeBron James go, but I was rooting for him. Very unfortunate.
A close showing from him, but that'll do it. It's how these competitions go, the nature of it. Just a round or two, one decision, that makes the difference. And honestly, it sets us up for such an incredible look ahead towards the Tower of Hell. What a match we have on our hands.
That's right. And with Shafe finishing Rivals and Driving Empire 2-0, explain to us how that sets him up for going into the obby.
Yeah, so that means that if he wins once, he wins the $1 million. But if Da-da-da wants to win, because he's coming from the lower, he would have to win twice in a row here. So definitely a tough one there. But we're going to reset. We're going to head our way into the obby in just a minute. And for the moment, let's go ahead and check in with our correspondents, Geach and Sabrina.
Take it away.
That was unbelievable. Everyone was literally running for their lives. It got me thinking, do I seem like a grenade launcher or a chainsaw type of person?
I don't know. I feel like, obviously grenade launcher would be a great choice, right? For safety. But with the jacket and the hair, I feel like to see the chainsaw, it would just like perfectly tie it all in together. That would be a
That's a really
look.
good answer. I do like grenades though.
Oh, so you're definitely a grenade launcher?
I love just throwing grenades everywhere.
You do that for like, in your free time?
In any FPS game, yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say you just
not in my free time.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, girl, what type of life are you living? What about me? What do I get? What's my energy? Am I
chainsaw?
Chainsaw?
Yeah.
That's nuts. What about me gives chainsaw? I'm curious.
I don't know. You're independent, and I feel like independent people have chainsaws, and scared people have grenades.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So let's talk about this match. These last couple of matches. Oh my gosh. I'm speechless. Obviously,
You were screaming.
Maybe I'm just out of.
Literally, she was screaming. We were on the edge of our seat. That was so close. Like all those different rounds, we were like screaming at it.
I mean, yeah, there was
except the last one.
Oh yeah, I cried a little bit.
Yeah, last one we were just sad.
I definitely shed a tear or two, you know,
and happy at the same time.
Little thug tear, you know. But I gotta say, like, it was really, really exciting to watch Antarel's match because it didn't. It was so close. It literally came down to like the very last second.
Yeah,
it was so exciting. But it's like, man,
the match that was back and forth, and they just kept like tying up. That's why we were screaming.
Yes. Well,
yeah,
you know.
I didn't expect it to be that close.
Right. And then I gotta say too, watching Dud get a chance to compete again against Roby. You know, I didn't know what to expect because you know, obviously, you know, Shafe was a tough contender from the beginning. Like Shafe did not come to play at all. That was that. He knew this is mine. Y'all can go on and just like it was fun for him. Like, oh yeah, I'll play your game, you know. Just to give you guys
very impressive.
to give you guys some content, you know, that, you know, since that's what you want. But watching Dud go up against Roby, it was almost kind of heartbreaking, like watching my two children fight or something. I don't because it's like, you know,
those are the ones you're rooting for? The competitors?
They touched my heart. They found the softest spot right here in the beginning. And it's like watching the kind of underdog story. Well, not necessarily for Dud, because Dud was one of the first ones to place. But then, you know, we sat here with him and he was just so happy and confident, you know, and it felt like, you know, he was like, yes, this is mine. And he did say, I'm not worried about these guys moving forward. This is easy. And he, you know, I won't say he proved it.
It's definitely tough. It's a tough position to be in.
He definitely worked for that.
And then it was gone.
Yeah, watching Roby, oh my gosh.
This is brutal.
But you know, personally, I just would not have picked a sniper for that map. Did you get to see the map first?
Snipers are, like, if you're good with it, though, they're pretty OP.
I think the problem, though, is that map was just way too big.
It was really big for two people.
Right. It's huge for two people, and then you also have a sniper, but it's like, you know, Dud kind of took advantage of all of those closed-in spaces, you know, just kind of like Mimi said, you know, it's a game of hide and seek at this point.
Yep.
And just to get, you know, that close, oh gosh, you know, I just want to go give Roby a hug.
Aww.
My feelings, my heart.
Okay, I got a question here for you.
Mm-hmm.
Rivals is fast.
Mm-hmm.
What's your secret to staying cool in high-stress rounds?
Oh, well, that's my secret, Sabrina. I'm always stressed. See how that works? I have no problem. You know, I can do this because I am this. You see?
But, like, how do you stay cool?
I just, you know, pretend that, you know, I'm just in the kitchen or something, you know, think about food.
Okay,
you know?
Well, with that said.
All right, we're going to go ahead and throw it back to you, Jay Party, and we're going to finish this up.
All right, my friends, I have returned. And what a journey it's been, hanging out with some of our contestants, getting a first-hand perspective on the final eliminations. What a fun thing. Anyway, congrats to Shafe and Dud. They are the last two contestants standing. But who will fall? This is what it's all about, my friends. It is time for the $1 million round. With the grand prize at stake, it all comes down to one final game. The aptly named Tower of Hell. It's going to be
Game
epic.
8, Tower of Hell. The rules are simple. Climb as high as possible. Whoever gets to the top first or climbs the highest wins. But if an undefeated contestant loses the first match, a second will be played. Ultimately, the winner takes all.
All right. You heard it here, folks. The race to the top will begin shortly. Also noting, whoever gets the highest at any point, we will count that score. That encourages forward momentum in our players in a non-stop neck-and-neck race to the top.
Absolutely. And of course, it's also going to be an advantage coming in for Shafe as that upper round undefeated player. He only has to win once, but if Dud is to take this home, he would have to win, reset the bracket, and going into an even match, win it out again. A big task for him. But we already saw a great comeback in Rivals, winning that second game after getting trounced in his opener.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like the odds are stacked against him, but clearly he's able to make these epic comebacks. And like you said, everybody having extensive experience in Obby's Tower of Hell, it must be the game that both of these players are looking forward to.
Well, It looks like we are ready to go. We started with 10 contestants to get into this one. Shafe, they're the only two left here. They're just getting in, making the final preparations to arrive. For these two young men, the pressure is truly on. When you're playing through this, it kind of felt too real. Still a field in front of you, but now only one player on the other side
I know.
is stopping you from a million.
I know, this is it. Millions and millions have tried to have a shot at the final $1 million. And this competition has been won for the ages. This is a double elimination, as you remember. So, if Dudadud can win this, there'll be an extended set. But Shafe can take the money on this race right through the heart of Tower of Hell. And actually, we have a little quick, exciting announcement for you all. A game that has not seen an update in quite so long, guess what? Has released a brand new Tower Portions update, greatly increasing the difficulty of this competition just as a little gift for our final two. They've not seen it. The world has not seen it. This is a brand new update. And I will say, I've seen the practice rounds. These guys are experts, and I think they need this. This is going to be a true epic race here as we're going to see some brand new sections of the course.
They're off to the races. 7 minutes between these players and $1 million.
Interesting word choice there, gift, Jay Party. I'm not sure if they appreciate this gift, seeing that it is much harder than it used to be.
Yeah, new sections. As we mentioned earlier, initially there was over 330 different sections of this puzzle, leading to over a quadrillion combinations that could be possible. So I'm assuming no one's ever seen the same tower twice. Well, that got a lot bigger of a number now with a whole new array of challenges.
Shafe, though, is out in front here and already building himself a commanding lead, but a fall back down. He'll catch himself, but that'll put him just a little bit further down. I believe Dudadud also fell too. So Shafe, despite his slip, still has the lead.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a couple falls here today, but thankfully, actually, Shafe had a pretty forgiving one. Did not hit an obstacle and fell almost on the same challenge he's on right there. So again, not losing a lot of time in the grand scheme of things.
Dudadud is hot on the tails, though. You see him catching up already here.
And as you can see on the sidebar there, we can see each player's positions in the race. It looks very, very close. They're just neck to neck.
Yeah, this is still anyone's game here. To say someone has a lead is just really, the happen circumstance of a single jump here.
You see how close they are.
Oh boy, in this section, I'm not even sure I understand how to proceed here. I think both players getting a little confused there as we see a fall from Shafe.
Oh man.
Yeah, this is going to be a rough one. Smile on his face in good sport as he heads to the bottom, knowing he might be joined by a friend shortly here. And there we go. That was a wild section. Even with Observer Cam, I'm not sure I understand how to progress through that one.
It is definitely challenging, and I'd almost like to just see if we could zoom out and just get some context how far they really have to go to get to the win here, because they're still only down in the second section. You look at that right side of your screen. There's, 8 more sections more that you have to compete through if you want to actually win this challenge.
Yeah, and a rough early fall here. Nerves starting to get to him a little bit here as one of the players takes a knockout from that little plasma beam there, and we are getting back to our challenge section here. We'll see if someone can get past it. This is going to be a big checkpoint. Oh, and a quick slip down and fall. Wow, this is some uncharacteristic play. I will see. We've seen a lot of practices in this game. It's usually an undefeated flying through of the tournament, but here, Nerves getting to him.
It is funny, we had so many of our players that said that Obbies were their favorite, the game they had the most experience with. These are two of the players that, well, they've played Roblox for years. They definitely have experience in Obbies. They didn't necessarily say it was one of their strengths, but that's where this entire tournament, all 7 games previous, will get decided on.
Yeah, it is a challenge. You've got to be an expert in just so many things to compete here. So again, all right, Dudadud is back in this challenge zone. I assume he's going to wait a little bit and try to figure this puzzle out before he progresses.
For the first time ever, the polls are looking very close. 52% of the viewers going for Dudadud and 48 going for Shafe.
Okay.
Another little fall there from Dudadud, but again, he catches himself. A little bit of luck on his side there.
We'll see. And again, the stump right here. Can we get presses? I think I see that they pop out of the corner there, and you got to catch that on the corner.
I can't even comprehend. My brain can't comprehend what's going on.
So it's definitely a last-second jump to the platform that's rotating out of the beam here. Oh, and he gets it. There we go.
There it is.
He's making the climb, slowly getting up higher.
And
there.
Another fall.
That is like...
Yeah, he's solving it, though. So again, we're actually having to see people reason through some of these new challenges here, and I think Dudadud might be getting there, but Shafe.
I mean, you see the emotion. Every time these guys fall, they're reacting, they're feeling the pressure. I think, honestly, more than even a battle against the obstacles, this is a battle about staying calm, staying focused under pressure, not rushing yourself, not letting that big timer at the top of the screen get the better of you.
Now, I can't be watching the time here. Just relax, just focus. Already we've seen this is a much slower competition here. There are puzzles to solve, and they need to spend some time. I think this zone has been a major stump.
Just relax. Easier said than done. My hands are soaked in sweat watching this.
Oh my god, they
Down goes
both
Dada
fell.
yet
Yeah,
again.
that was a rough missed jump there. Again, nerves really getting the best of him. Obviously, such a funny climax of this entire event as a single missed jump is going to result in a complete reset. And here we are, neck and neck. from
Back
the start.
to the beginning. And you can't let seeing your opponent get the better of you. You don't want to rush anything. You don't want to make mistakes. One slip could be the difference, and there's a mistake. One of our players fell. Da-da-da, reset again.
And looking at the sidebar there, it looks like they've reached about, what, 20% of the entire tower so far?
If that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a massive tower ahead here, and we'll see if we see another round, but this could be it here.
Da-da-da is kind of in the lead, so he is holding on. But yeah, if Shafe manages to catch up in these next 2.5
The
minutes.
critical thing is only 2.5 minutes left in this round. So Shafe, this run could be his last opportunity to get ahead. He wants to be so careful with each of these jumps. I believe this is the obstacle that no one has made it through just yet. Here's his chance. Good jump. He stays up in it as Da-da-da is back down on the reset. And Shafe, I think he just fell.
I think we heard the oof. That means he's down. Oh, and there it goes again. Boy, it is a rough run for our players here. Not sure who actually got higher on that initial
I
climb.
believe they've both lost at that same obstacle.
Yeah, this actually might come down to a replay then of who made it to a block or a frame higher than the other person, because this is gonna be rough.
Well, it looks like on the sidebar there, they do keep record of who reached the highest point, and so far it is Dud.
Oh, okay. Looks like he is leading. Good to know. Perhaps we'll have a redemption match.
Let's see if Shafe could maybe take his way up. Remember, if Da-da-da wins this, he resets the bracket, brings us to a do or die final round of this very classic obby.
They're getting back to this section. Everyone's favorite.
And I just want to watch
Are.
Shafe here, see his reaction, because this is the make or break for him.
Okay.
He jumps
can he
up.
clear this.
He's making it deeper through this obstacle, but it's a challenge even to figure out how you want to move in this one.
Oh, and just like that, Shafe has cleared it. This has been the backbreaker with a
Is
minute
this it?
left.
A minute and a half. Da-da-da has to rally back
Wow.
and make it ahead of his opponent, because right now,
If he
Shafe,
falls
he
right
has
here.
this in the bag.
Oh, he's still going.
And he
Oh,
hasn't
man.
stopped just yet. Da-da-da is on a reset. He's back down in the blue zone.
I think Shafe has time to just stop here and end it all, but he's still going.
But remember,
see.
the highest point he makes is what the game remembers. And if he keeps
Wow.
going, it might just be over.
Wow.
Oh, it's
50 seconds. Is that enough time to catch up?
Shafe, the player who flew all the way from New York, he had a job offer on the line. He was ready for his orientation for that opportunity. And if we can watch Da-da-da, this is his last chance, his last run to try and beat him out. Shafe made his sacrifices, but he was the undefeated
Da-da-da
player through our
dies,
rounds
it's
to
Shafe.
work into this one.
Oh boy, all eyes on the man in blue here. Dud, his round to lose.
If he
Where's he
Da-da-
at
if
here? This is
Da-da-da
the moment.
dies.
He's made it up to the yellow. A chance
Oh,
to
he
be
has
close.
cleared it.
Can he do
Dud
this?
is
20
actually above
seconds.
it.
It's possible.
He needs
Whoa!
to
Oh!
That should be it. 16
Oh
seconds
my gosh,
on the
15
clock.
seconds.
Oh.
Dud his hands off keyboard. I cannot
Oh, man.
believe the pain.
He knows
Oh,
it's
the
over.
pain.
The final
Point.
countdown, folks.
A victory lap.
Wow.
for Shafe. He
Shafe.
holds his position
3,
up
2,
and Shafe
And
is
Shafe
the
takes it
champion
all.
of the Mega Final.
we got it. All right, folks. We officially have it. Shafe, my friend, you're still standing. An incredible run here. Well, we've got a little gift for you. Hopefully, this will ease your nerves here. Something a little exciting here. This will
The
be
$1
your prize. So,
million.
Shafe, congratulations. I still can't believe it. This has been a fierce competition. A shout out to everyone. We thought we'd bring some friends out along the way. All 10 contestants are here. The skill, the smarts, the determination to make it here. It's been an incredible journey. Congratulations to everyone. But here, let's take a big shout out again to Dud. He had an incredible journey there. That last jump, a painful fall in the last 10 seconds. But hey, it's time to celebrate everyone who competed in the Mega Championship for the hunt. This was huge. You solved puzzles, tokens, looks, fought battles, outraced foes, conquered obbies, won shooters, earning you the right to be called the best. And of course, earning you the grand prize. Shafe, this one yours. Congratulations on $1 million richer. Woo! You've done it, my friend. All right, what are you feeling? How you feeling? Anything to say?
Oh my God, ecstatic, kind of all over the place. Dud, you did amazing. Oh my God, I was so nervous when you got to the, what was it, the yellow one? Oh, but I'm so glad that everyone's here. It was awesome. This event was awesome.
All right, my friend, any shout outs, any thank yous you want to give to the folks at home?
Shout out to Gagarg. Shout out to my parents. Shout out to Cobb. Shout out to Bepix. Yeah.
Awesome stuff. All right, my friend, what are you going to do? What are you going to buy first with $1 million?
Honestly, I'm going to help my parents. They're having it rough right now.
All right.
So,
W.
Gonna help them save for a house.
All right.
Figure out the rest from there.
All right, you heard it here, folks. Wonderful stuff. An awesome person deserving of wonderful things. Shape, congratulations again. That was incredible. I know if I had $1 million, I'd spend that fully on floss. Why? Well, that's for me to know and you to find out. All right, my friends. This is it. We've done it. We've had an incredible show with an incredible crew. And my friends, I'd like to say a few thank yous. We've got someone $1 million richer, and for the rest of us, well, we've got $1 million worth of a rich experience. And that's all the award we need. But hey, maybe some thank yous would suffice. I want to say thank you again to the amazing co-hosts I had. Mimi, new to the Roblox universe. Where's my camera shot? There it is. Mimi, hello. Well, yes, welcome. I don't know. We're shaking hands now. Thank you again. And you, of course, Frace, you all already know. And you, thanks again for all your work here, my co-hosts. You can even have a handshake. We're giving those away for free. Again, a huge thank you to Sabrina and Geach the Gamer. Fantastic commentary for saving us in the green room. Some wonderful stuff, hanging out with some cool folks. We couldn't have done it without you all. But really, the key here is all the incredible contestants who competed in an insane competition with millions and millions of folks and everyone who participated in the hunt. This was a massive community event. One of the biggest events we've ever had on the platform, actually. It was huge. It was absolutely incredible to see you all compete and all leading to this moment. Again, I want to give an amazing shout out to the whole crew that makes this possible. You might not see it at home, but there are a lot of folks behind a lot of fun cameras and a lot of important switchers making this whole show come alive. So thank you all to the crew. It has been amazing. I want to give a big thank you to the talented creators. That's right, the folks who updated these games, the 25 hunt participants. Again, Roblox is nothing without its creators. Y'all developers make this stuff magic. I know almost each and every one of you who helped with these games personally, and it's been an incredible run. Thank you for all the gifts, all the additional work of updates that you have provided us, including that surprise Tower of Hell one for our folks at the end here. Again, incredible stuff. All right, well, thank you for always being insightful and entertaining to our live streaming content creators who joined us, some special guests. But folks, the most important person of all to thank, and that's not me like you may think. It's you at home watching. All of you, again, appreciate you tuning into the end. An amazing journey. Roblox is possible because of all the folks here, all the magic, the folks at home. Again, I can't say enough. But hey, I'm tired of talking here. It's time to celebrate. This concludes the Hunt Mega Final. So folks, I'm Jay Party, here to say we'll see you all next time. This has been a show.
W.